Knicks fans, tough loss to the Boston Celtics. Down the stretch of the game, second night in a row, we lost to Nailbiter. Let's talk about it, man. Knicks family, what's poppin'? Well, second night in a row, we lost a Nailbiter. The difference, I think, tonight is we lost to a team that we weren't supposed to beat. We played tough against a team that we weren't supposed to beat. Yet still, I wanted the victory. I know many of you wanted the victory. And we didn't get the victory. What can we attest it to? I know right now in the chat, some people are arguing about substitutions. What substitutions should be made in the fourth quarter tonight? There's an argument going on in video chat about that right now. You know, we can talk about efficiency. I think that should be expected when you're playing the Boston Celtics, that you're going to be less efficient from the field because the Celtics are such an aggressive and intense defensive team. You know, we can talk about our defensive lapses, which we had many in the fourth quarter. Although we won the fourth quarter 31-26, we still had some defensive lapses that could have maybe won us this game. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. A lot of stuff to talk about. Rotations, lineup, substitutions, Knox's injury, Damian Dotson. We'll talk about the Bucks. A lot of stuff to talk about because we're seeing some trends. Of course, the inefficiency, that's a big trend with this team. You know, we shot 40.2% from the field. Had 23 assists tonight. It's not bad. Could be more. Could be better. We clearly played a more structured style of offense tonight. We got out on the break on some possessions, but let's recap the game. We'll recap the game and then we'll get to this video chat and let the fighting begin, because I think there's going to be some fighting tonight. I can already see it. I can already feel it. Guys are not happy with some of the things that they've seen tonight. Listen, I'm okay with a loss. We played hard. We did. We played hard. We played hard against the Nets too, but we played hard tonight. We wanted this win. We got down 16 points and we came back. The Celtics kept going on runs and we kept coming back from those runs. We showed some guts. We showed some guts, and I love to see it. What scares me is how many times can you show those guts, come up empty, and then continue to come back the next night or the night after and show that same heart? Can you continue to do it? If you're not getting those wins, if you're not pulling them out, can you continue to bring that fire and desire? I hope that we can, because look, there's going to be a lot of nights like this with this team. A lot of nights that we're not going to be able to finish it off. A lot of them, because, well, we've got a lot of youth on the floor. And when you have a lot of youth on the floor, it's going to be hard to finish games off like we did tonight. Let's give a rundown of the box score. Give a quick rundown. I mean, I'm disappointed because we lost, but I'm not just crazy upset because, you know, we played a decent game. Given the circumstances, let me put it that way. You see, quarter by quarter, we lost that first quarter 31-18. The Celtics came out with just a little bit more fire than us. Had to adjust. Won the second quarter 30-19. So we brought the game back. Halftime, 50-48. We lost the third quarter, 27-22. And although we lost the third quarter, we didn't play horrible in that third quarter. Last year in third quarters, we would come out and get wiped up. Many times we would have the lead at half and come out and you know, let the team outscore us by 19 in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, we won 31-26, but we seen some lapses in defense in that fourth quarter that just can't have it happen. And of course, Kyrie, you know, he turned up a little bit in the fourth. You know, we kept him. Trey Burke did a good job of keeping him under wraps most of the game, but he couldn't handle him in that fourth quarter. That's where some of the argument is coming in the chat. Some of that argument is coming in the chat. But you can't be mad at Trey Burke, in my opinion. Trey Burke played hard. A couple of ill-advised, you know, three-pointers off the dribble, in my opinion. But for the most part, I'm not too upset with Trey Burke. I could care less that he missed the free throw at the end of the game. You know, that doesn't bother me that he missed the free throw. I wish he would have made the free throw, obviously. But I'm not going to say he lost the game because he missed that free throw. There were plenty of things that happened way before that free throw came into play. Well, we could have maybe won this game. Now, the three-pointer that he pulled, still with some time on the clock, maybe we could have gotten a better shot. I don't know. But nonetheless, he got fouled. He got fouled. Went to the free throw line and missed the free throw. But I'm not mad that he missed the free throw. What I am mad, though, is that in the fourth quarter, he let Kyrie Irving eat his lunch. I will say that. He played well, but in the fourth quarter, Kyrie Irving ate his lunch. And I see who's marking the chat say how how Kyrie Irving gets his teammates involved and in the fourth quarter gets his. And that's exactly what he did. Exactly what he did. Final stats tracker. The Knicks' biggest lead was 1. The Celtics' biggest lead was 16. The Knicks held their own on the boards. 46 rebounds to the Celtics' 47. The Knicks had 11 offensive rebounds. The Celtics with 11 offensive rebounds. Defensive rebounds. The Knicks had 35. The Celtics had 36. So the Knicks held their own on the boards. And as Cantor, Noah Vonleh did their thing on the boards. Assists. The Knicks had 23 assists tonight. That's much better. We can do better, but that's much better. We had 8 steals, 1 block, 16 turnovers tonight versus 3 the night before. But why did we have more turnovers tonight? Probably because we played a better team, a better defensive team. But we took a few more chances with our passes, which is okay. Another place that we lost this game was at the free throw line. And I'm not talking about Trey Burke. We're 17 for 27 from the free throw line. 63%. These are NBA players, ladies and gentlemen. Got to do better than that. Got to do better than that. Let's take a look at the box scores. Go to the Knicks. Get it off the Celtics. Frank Ntilikina, 28% from the field. Lance Thomas, 25% from the field. Cantor, 53%. Cantor couldn't buy a basket, and he still shot 53% because he scores in the post. Hit a 3. He was 1 for 3 from 3. I'm not mad at that. I'm okay with him taking 3-pointers per game in a game as long as they are open the way that they were open tonight. Trey Burke, 11 points, 9 assists. 5 for 12 from the field, 41.7%. And Trey Burke was shooting better than that, in my opinion. He was shooting better than that. In the fourth quarter, he started playing a little bit of hero ball and tried to take over the game and hit some big shots when he didn't need to do those things. He could have just continued to let the game come to him the way it was coming to him. But he took some ill-advised threes, I believe. Some ill-advised threes. Tim Hardaway Jr., Another poor shooting night, although he had 24 points, 38% from the field. But he's 5 for 11 from 3. 45.5% from 3. Why? Well, he took better, maybe 1 or 2 3-point shots were ill-advised, but it's those points in that mid-range area, it's those shots in that mid-range area tonight where, you know, he did some wild things. And it really does piss me off. But you know what? That's not the thing that I'm upset about the most with Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway is letting dudes eat him up on the defensive end of the floor. You know what I'm saying? Tim Hardaway is letting people eat him up on the defensive end of the floor. And it's killing us. Do you want to hit a game winner? Do you want to hit a shot in the clutch? Find the man that has Tim Hardaway guarding him. Because Tim Hardaway's not playing defense the way that we need him to play defense. He gets faked. Loses his guy. Jason Tatum, a second-year guy in the league. Fakes Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway's kind of shook, doesn't even know where he is on that little fadeaway jumper. If you slow it down and you look at it, you'll see it. Tim Hardaway's got to do better on the defensive end. You know what? If you're going to shoot 38% from the field, fine. Shoot 38% from the field. But you got to play defense. You got to play defense, man. You got to. You got to. Alonzo Trier, 15 points, 44% from the field, 3 turnovers, 1 assist. Kevin Knox, of course, we know Kevin Knox injury. We'll talk about that in a little bit and what it means for this team going forward in the next few games. Hezonja, 9 points, not doing much. 9 minutes, 2 points. Noah Vonleh did his thing tonight. 7 points, 13 rebounds. We need that. We need his production on the boards, off the bench, consistently. Of course, he's got to get consistent minutes, but we need it consistently. With Knox going down, he probably will get more consistent minutes in the next few games. Damian Dotson came in, did his thing. 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Mitchell Robinson came in and did what he could do. And this is what we should expect from Mitchell Robinson. And Ron Baker was Ron Baker. You know, this is the tail of the tape tonight. The Knicks, again, 41.4% from the field, 34.3% from 3. We shot 35 threes tonight. We did okay on the glass. We did okay with the assists. We had 16 turnovers. We played hard, and it was going to be a scrappy style of game. We knew that coming into it. It was going to be one of those scrappy games. And so you expect bad shooting. You expect turnovers when you have those scrappy style of games. You expect that. You know, I'm not as mad at this loss as I was against the Nets loss. I was mad against the Nets loss because, you know, you're coming in, you're playing a team like Boston, and you know it's going to be rough and tough and scrappy and intense. You're going to leave out of there with bumps and bruises. You know it. So you take care of the Brooklyn game. I don't want to go back to that Brooklyn game because it still has me pissed off because, Celtics was going to be a hard team. You know, you're coming in, you're playing a team like Boston. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Mute that. But so we got some guys in the chat, man, and I know some people got some things to say. We got people already calling in. The line's not open yet, but keep calling in. We're gonna get to you. Let's get to this chat right quick. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds to just give us a quick rundown on what you felt about the game, how you feeling, express yourself, let your frustrations go. And then we're going to go ahead and start to break some things down, like really break some things down and, talk about this team. Because, listen, I know we're 1-2, But if we can figure out how to do some things in the clutch, I feel good about the team. I might be frustrated, but if we can figure out how to do some things in the clutch, I feel really good about us. Excuse me, because we play hard. We just got to figure out how to finish these games. You know, maybe we take some early bumps and bruises, but if we can figure it out by the time we get to December, January, you know, we win some. You know, we take some close losses. We'll figure out how to do it in the end. You know, that's where we are now. We got to figure out how to do it in the end. You know what I'm saying? And that's not going to be an easy task because we're a young team, but we got to figure it out. Viv, I'm coming to you, man.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm good. I'm a little bit upset. Not upset, disappointed because I wanted this win, but we didn't get it. Give me 30 seconds.
You know what it is, Tim? Like, we were just having this back and forth between Prince and Nate.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, if you just take a look at the big picture, right? We got to treat, the next 30 games, whether we like it or not, we're basically playing with house money. And in the sense that this is pretty much extended preseason for, Fizz in a sense. Like he's basically, throwing out lineups just to see if something works. And, if it works, it's great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And this is clearly what happened. He found something he found a lineup that he liked, was playing kind of well, stuck with it, went through the warts and whatever, sank and swim. So, look, the Celtics, if you ask a lot of people that are around the Celtics, like, from a media perspective, they're saying the Celtics played lackadaisical, they were kind of off their game. So, I'm not surprised that the Knicks, with all their chemistry and, everything they've done in the offseason, that they came out of this game, playing very hard and scrappy and competitive. Mm-hmm. It just so happened that maybe because of like some technical things that could probably be fixed during the practices and stuff that, they pretty much, missed a couple of things here and there, their free throws. That was a problem too. But again, like some of those things can be fixed over time, but you just, it sucks that you lose, but it's unfortunately just part of the,
that's the growing pains of a young team.
Yeah. I mean, and people had bad games today, obviously, it's fair to say that Frank didn't have a great game either, but if you think about it, this is what happens with 20-year-olds, whether we like it or not. Not every 20-year-old's going to be, LeBron James, right, or Kevin Durant or one of those guys. Yeah. They're special players. So if you look at the second-year players on every other team, like a lot of other teams, they've gone through the same struggles too. So this is we just got to deal with it.
Yeah. My thing with Frank tonight is he was real loosey-goosey with the ball, man. Throwing some bad passes here and there that you got to take care of that I do not expect from Frank. And it's going to happen with young players, but, you got to take care of the ball. If you don't take care of the ball, you go to the bench. And some players are going to have longer leashes than others. That's just the way that it goes in basketball life. You know what I mean? That's just the way that it is. Nate, coming to you, my brother. What's going on, Nate?
Oh, not much, man. Just a little frustrated, but yeah, I mean, I was happy the way we competed. Losing Knox early sucked. I kind of thought he was going to have a breakout game, and it's fortunate to see the guy go down. But I'll just be simple with this, man. I mean, I get this is a young team. I get there's growing pains, but Frank's your best defender, and I understand that he had a rough offensive game. But the one thing Frank always comes through in the clutch is with defense, and you got to have your best defender out there against one of arguably the best point guards. And they didn't see it out there. And I blame this loss on Fizdale. Okay. Because you got to put him out there.
Yeah, and I get that. And Kyrie Irving did eat Trey Burke's lunch in the fourth quarter. He did. But I think also, if you are having if you're having a system of accountability, you got to hold people accountable as well. You know what I mean? And Frank was a negative 22 tonight. What can you do? If the kid's not getting it done, you don't put him on the floor. That's just what it is. He was a negative 22 tonight because he wasn't really getting it done. That's it. That's it for me. I get what you're going at, but I think when you're talking about a young team, you also got to hold them accountable. You got to hold them accountable. Now, I would like to see Tim Hardaway be held more accountable as well. If you're going to hold Frank accountable, hold Tim Hardaway accountable too. For his defensive lapses, because he's having many of them. Put Alonzo Trier in. He can score too. You know what I'm saying? But, you got to hold Hardaway accountable. I don't care if his dad is sitting in the game, sitting in the stands or not. Hold him accountable. I don't care if you're friends with his dad or not. Hold him accountable. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Hold everybody accountable. And, I mean, in my opinion, Nate, Frank deserved to be on the bench tonight. That's just my opinion. And sometimes, you go with the people who got you there no matter what. You kind of go with the people who got you there. That's just my take on it.
Play?
Prince,
but he can't hold his own.
I'm on you, okay. Prince.
He can play, but he can't hold his own. Nah, I ain't gonna give you that one. I can't give you.
I don't know what Prince is talking about. I'm on you,
Prince. The thing.
Okay, Prince arguing with somebody, so I'm gonna come over to Ant. I'm on you, Ant.
Yo, Sim, I respectfully have to disagree with you, Sim. Mm-hmm. First, Frank had a pretty good first quarter. Frank he hit some shots. He had a couple assists. He had a steal, a rebound, a couple of rebounds. What happened is Frank sat the entire second quarter and I think that threw him off a little bit. And to me, I thought, I'm not upset with this game at all. I'm gonna get that out the way. Anybody upset with this loss, I think they're bugging.
I mean, well,
Frank, I don't know what people expect.
Frank hit one shot in the first quarter. He hit a three. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the game, he had 1 assist and 2 turnovers.
But he got kind of thrown out of his rhythm. I mean, when you sit the entire second quarter, I mean, I don't think he played a minute in the second quarter.
Well, but see, I think the reason why he sat there entire second quarter is because you had a lineup on the floor that actually got the team back in the game. The Knicks were down 16, and you had a lineup in the game that got the team back. It was Trier, whoever it was. I don't remember exactly who the lineup was, but they got the team back. And if you got a squad on the floor that's getting you back in the game, I think you rock with them. I get what you're saying, but
you're not wrong. I just don't think after the first quarter, Frank did something to get put on the bench. You know what I'm saying? I think after he sat out the whole second quarter, I feel like he was kind of off kill. Because you're right, in the second half, he didn't play well. He turned the ball over a lot. He missed 3 wide open shots. So, but I think that kind of threw him off a little bit when he sat the entire second quarter. I think that kind of...
And I don't think he did anything wrong either, but I think it had more to do with the lineup wasn't working, and this lineup was working, so we're going to go with this lineup. I think it had to do with that there. But that
was my second point. The lineup wasn't working because Trey Burke should not have started. We said it from the jump. Trey Burke starting against his Boston team was a bad idea. And I feel like... So I don't think the lineup wasn't working because of Frank. Well, but I feel like when you got Trey Burke switching on to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and your other backcourt defender is Tim Hardaway, it's just a bad idea.
It wasn't working because of Frank. It just the lineup just wasn't working. I think the lineup just wasn't working, and you gotta go with what's working when it starts working. He came back with him in the third quarter. He didn't play well in that third quarter. A couple bad passes. And unfortunately, when you're talking about players, certain players are going to have a longer leash. Certain players are going to have a shorter leash. I guess Frank just hasn't built up enough respect to be the kind of player that has a long leash. He will. I sincerely believe that he will. He just hasn't built it up yet. I don't know why Tim Hardaway's built up that kind of a leash. You know what I'm saying? Tim Hardaway's, I don't know why he's built up that kind of a leash, but he's really he hit some big shots, but he's starting to piss me off though with his defense already. Starting to piss me off already with his defense, because his defense is horrible. We got French Unicorn jumping in. Who's Mark jumping in? Hopefully they're coming back in. But I mean, I can't be entirely super duper upset because we were playing a team that we were expected to struggle against, and we struggled. But if you're gonna struggle against these teams. Don't struggle against the Nets. French Unicorn, man, what's popping, man? French, can you hear me?
What's up, guys? What's up, fellas?
What's going on with you, man? There we go. He got the nothing but Knicks shirt on. I can hear you, bro. I'm gonna blow that up. Right, do it one more time, French. You show that shirt. Hey, French, show that shirt one more time, my man. If you can. Oh, never mind. Think he's going to make some changes. So let's get to who's Mark. Mark, what's popping, man? All right, these guys, look, guys, we got to get good connections. You on live with nothing but Knicks, caller. What's popping?
Hello?
What's going on, bro? What's happening with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's going on? You on live, brother?
Okay, yeah. I had a thing, man. I have a problem with everybody getting on Burke, because just because Burke is starting, it doesn't mean that that's the reason why we lost. Kyrie has cooked everybody. Burke is not the only one. And anytime Frank does something, everybody's all in love with that. Anytime Burke does something, everybody has a complaint. I don't understand that. I don't know. What you think about that, Sam?
Well, I think it's the style of play, right? Frank, it's the style of play, the length of time in the league. The longer you're in the league, the more you're going to have more expectations on you the longer you're in the league, right? If you've been in the league for 7 years, people expect that you know how to play the game and play the game the right way. If you've been in the league for 2 years, people expect you to go through growing pains. You hit that third and fourth year, now, the expectations, that's when expectations really begin to raise. Frank played a bad game tonight, at least in the second half. He played a bad game in the second half. He was loosey-goosey with the basketball, throwing some bad passes here, throwing some bad passes there. He got taken out of the game, and he deserved to be taken out of the game, right? But Trey Burke, I think what people, what it is about Trey Burke, it's he gets in those times, and you've seen it sometime tonight, right? He gets in those little moments here and there where he's dribble, or he just dribble and then pull a three or something like that, and people don't want to see that style of play. People are tired of seeing that. They want to play more of a share the ball type of a game. You know what I'm saying? That's not totally Trey Burke's style, and I think that's the reason why some people are quick to jump on Trey Burke. For the most part, tonight's game, I respect what Trey Burke did tonight. I think in the fourth quarter, Kyrie Irving started to go at him, and he couldn't guard him. And obviously, people, everyone in the league has a problem guarding Kyrie Irving. But that's where some people argue that maybe Frank, or if not Frank, a bigger guard should have been on Kyrie Irving because of what happened in the fourth quarter. But listen, Burke played well. Burke also made Kyrie Irving work, right? Because he went at him. He got to the lane. Burke got into the lane and created for other people, created for Cancer. He made Kyrie Irving work. I'm not mad at Trey Burke tonight. You know what I'm saying? I think for three quarters, Trey Burke really played him well.
The team that came out that started, they couldn't hit anything. So the second team that came in, they came with a lot of energy. Now the first team, like I said, that was Frank's squad. Now I'm not saying Frank is terrible or Frank is great. I just see, let's let Frank grow into it. But any time that Frank does anything, everybody overhypes it. And when he doesn't do anything, everybody's crying. You know what I mean? But he's growing just like the rest of these guys, like Trey. You got to remember, even though Trey has been in the league, he really hasn't had a whole lot of playing time. And with Fizdale's system, he has to grow into it just like everybody else, everybody on the team. So everybody got a leap, And I agree. Listen, if you're not playing well on this game, you'll get another opportunity.
That's right.
So everybody don't have to keep crying when Frank don't get any playing time. He didn't get it tonight because he didn't deserve it. But, he'll have his opportunity. He's getting better and better each and every time, just like the rest of these guys. Trier came in and he produced. Dotson came in, he produced. My problem was maybe at the end of the game why you didn't put Frank in to try to guard Kyrie, just like yesterday. Why you didn't put Frank in to try to guard LeVert. That was my problem, and that really was on the coach. I think the coach is doing a great job. But at the end, a couple, even with the play calls that we had at the end of the game, it was really suspect. I know he'll get with it. He'll get better with it. He's a young coach also. I like what the Knicks are doing. They're doing some great things. They're playing aggressive. I haven't seen them play like this in years. You know what I mean? So,
I feel you.
I'm excited about what they're doing. So I'm more about what good they're doing and more about trying to trade Trey Burke or trying to trade Timmy. You know what I mean? These guys are who they are, but everybody in the NBA is not the best defender in the world. That's why you got to have multiple players to do multiple things. Frank can do something that most players can't do in the league. Like more like an Iguodala or Smart. We can use Frank for a lot of things, but
we can.
As far as him being a point guard and controlling the team and all that, he throws some bad turnovers at crucial times. I mean, he'll learn and he'll get better, but I wouldn't just implement him in as the point guard and take Trey out because he gives you what he gives you, and which is decent. But not what everybody thinks. You can't stop everybody in the league. You're not going to stop a Kyrie or Curry, or a lot of these point guards, Wall. You can't stop these guys. You can only slow them down.
Well, I mean, you're right about that. You can only slow him down. But I will say in that fourth quarter, Kyrie Irving, he got off, and part of it is because I'm not blaming Trey Burke at all, but he got off. Do you put Frank on him? See, I feel like, and I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna let you go. I feel like the reason that last night Fizdale didn't put Frank or whomever to guard, what's his name instead of Timmy, and tonight he didn't put Frank or whomever to guard Kyrie Irving is because he wants these guys to be held accountable. He wants these guys to step up, and the only way that you're gonna get them to learn to step up is to say, okay, that's your guy, stick them, play them man to man. Now, if it happens a few times and you say, okay, they just can't do it, then you might have to say, all right, I'm gonna make a change. But I think right now, maybe it's the right thing to just say, to challenge them man to man. If you want Timmy to get better on defense, how do you help him to get better if you don't let him guard someone in that situation? I think you have to say, okay, this is your world, bro. It's your world. Go get it, guard him. And then it happens a few times and you figure out he can't do it. Then you say, okay, now maybe we need to make a move. I think maybe that's what's going on here. That's just my opinion. Yeah,
he did say that. And I agree. I think he should. You challenge these guys. At the same time, you got to challenge your boy. You got to challenge Frank on offense. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He'll make a three, and they come back, and then they short arm it. You know what I mean? A couple times in a row. You got to challenge these guys on both ends.
Yeah, you do. You got to challenge them. And I think like last night against the Nets, they challenged Frank, and you seen him come out in the third and look to score, right? Because they probably challenged him. But it was just one quarter. He's got to learn.
What he did. I just want to see it more often.
He's just got to learn how to do it. He's got to learn how to keep it consistent, right?
Right,
Hey, I'm gonna let you go, man, because I know we got some people that want to call in. Want to get to some more people in the chat. I appreciate the call. Great call. And I hope to hear from you again soon. No doubt. Have a good one. Doing. Appreciate it, bro. Have a great weekend. Peace. All right, let's see. Let's come back to the chat. And I got my man. I forgot his name now. My man right here with the Nothing But Knicks shirt. You guys see the shirt? You can go to my website. You can copy a shirt. There's a whole bunch of different styles up there. You can cop one. But what's popping with you, man? How you feel about the game tonight? Can you hear me, my man? Not French Unicorn, but my other man over here with the Nothing But Knicks shirt.
Yo, what's up?
What's popping with you, bro? C-Dog, man. How you feeling about the game tonight?
Shit, we lost. As you know,
yeah.
I'm never happy if we don't win.
I feel you.
Bottom line. But when you lose by only 1 or 2 points, there's stuff that you could have did to help you win.
Right.
And the Knicks was going good until they put Hardaway back in near the end of the fourth quarter. His defense it sucks.
Yeah.
They need a scoring though, so I can't. You got to kind of take it.
Right. That's the tough thing, because we know that even though he's going to throw up some bad shots, we know that we need his scoring. Right. But there's going to be some.
I don't care about the shots. He's wild on offense, but he can't guard nobody on defense.
Right. And I said that. I said the same exact thing earlier. You know what? We know what we're going to get with Timmy on the offensive side of the floor. At least get stops, Timmy. If he can at least get stops, do what you're going to do on offense. Get stops.
All he needs is 1 or 2 stops. I mean, at the end of the game, if you can play him tight till you get to a certain point, all you got to do is suck it up for 1 or 2 stops.
Yeah.
But he can't even do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
And teams are smart, too. Teams is looking for Hardaway's man.
Yeah, they are. They're looking for it because they know. I think they know. You know what I'm saying? The word is out. They know. It's probably been out for a while.
Rough. We need to Knox to guard Tatum, size-wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they could have put Dotson back in. Dotson plays good D.
Yeah, Dotson played good D. He played good D. He started getting caught on Morris a little bit in that first half, I think it was, and he had some problems with him. But for the most part,
that's a mismatch. That's the coach's fault for having all them guards in there when they got Morris and that big white dude they had.
Yeah.
With the beard.
Baines or whoever, right? Yeah.
And Baines is, why is Robinson on the bench? Are they afraid to play Robinson with Canton?
I think, I just think it's a thing. I think they're trying to bring him along. You know what I mean? One, he has the ankle injury. Every once in a while you see him grimace, you see him, hold it a little bit. So that ankle is probably bothering him. And he's just
How old is Robinson?
Robinson is 20.
Come on, man. He can handle a little ankle injury.
Yeah, I mean.
I think he's a little boy.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't want to do what Grant Hill did. You know what I'm saying? Grant Hill killed his ankle and stopped him from having the career that he probably could have had, I think. But I think I think it also has to do with some of the strength.
Steph Curry's ankle was worse. He bounced back.
Who?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry? I mean, but I think
his ankle was worse than Grant Hill, and he bounced back.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Mitch Robinson, I think it also has to do with the strength down low. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens.
Dotson is nowhere near the strength of Morris. You need some height on that.
Right. You need some height and strength. Noah Vonleh is playing well. Has been playing well. Played well tonight.
Vonleh is good. I ain't got no problem with Vonleh, but it could be Vonleh. You got to get Robinson more time in there because they need some shot blocking.
I mean, we definitely need shot blocking. Also. We definitely need shot blocking, but I don't know. I think we're gonna have to bring Mitch Robinson along slowly because I just don't think he has the strength right now. Let me see what who's Mark is saying. Mark, what's poppin', Mark?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm chilling, man. What's up?
You doing okay?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Again, yo, listen, man. It's making me really sick that I have to watch my point guard dribble the air out the goddamn ball. What is going on? and I'm only referring to the last 5 minutes of the game because that's the most important point at the game.
Mm-hmm.
People saying Kyrie had a bad game. It doesn't matter as long as you finish strong where he's supposed to, which he did. That matters. It's so. Listen, we need penetration. That is it. It's nothing else to talk about this team. If we don't have penetration, we're not getting no shots. We're not getting easy shots, and that's going to lead us. That's going to lead us for Tim Hardaway taking bad shots because we don't have a point guard to penetrate the rack. We're going. Even our thing said it today. Even the announcer said it. We're going east to west with the ball. We're not going to the basket. We're not.
Go ahead. Keep going. You there?
And Boston kept running the same high post ISO with Kyrie and Trey Burke. And get me a point guard, please. Everybody's available. I need a point guard.
You said everybody's available.
I need a point guard for this team. Trey Burke is not it. He's not it. And what was that last shot that he took? Luckily, he got a foul. But why did he take that shot when he had time on the board?
I mean, well, one thing I'm gonna say, I think Trey Burke was getting in the lane tonight. That's how he was. That's how he got his 9 assists, man. He did go back and watch the game. I don't know if you got League Pass. If you can go back and watch the game, Trey Burke was getting in the lane. You know what I'm saying? He was coming off the screen. Okay. He was getting in the lane. Yeah. I mean, a lot of his buckets was right there at the basket because he penetrated to the hoop. A lot of his buckets was right there at the basket.
How many assists did he have tonight?
He had 9 assists tonight.
Yeah, that's the most empty 9 assists I ever saw in my life.
I don't see. You know what? And listen, you know I'm not a super duper Trey Burke fan, but I really don't think his assists were empty tonight because I really thought that Trey Burke got into the lane well and dished it off to people that was there for him. Cantor, he had Cantor a couple times. Him and Cantor showed some good ESP. Some good chemistry off the screen and rolls. I'm not mad. I don't like that he couldn't guard Kyrie Irving in the fourth quarter. I kind of knew that Kyrie Irving was going to turn it up in the fourth quarter. But for the most part, he played him well. For 3 quarters, he played him well.
No, you know why he did? Because next time when y'all watch Boston, watch what Kyrie does the first half of the games. He just passes out so his teammates get hot and ready. And in the second half, they just start running plays for this kid, and he start being Kyrie Irving. He does that in the first quarter. He tests his shots, see if it goes in or not. But the fourth quarter is what matters, and that's why we lost tonight, man. And let me ask you a question, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
The second unit is playing better defense than this first unit.
Mm-hmm. I think the first unit just doesn't have good. You need something different.
The first unit come out flat.
You need something different in the lineup. It's just not the lineup. Just doesn't come out good.
Can Vonleh start? Because again, the rebounding.
Start at the 4 spot.
Yeah, it's the rebounding.
That could work.
Because
that could
the
work.
Wings,
It is the rebounding.
Yeah, because the wings aren't crashing the board when they're supposed to.
Yeah. It is that rebounding.
They're not helping Cantor.
That's a big part of that. That's a big part of it. The rebounding in that first group is a big part of it.
But I'm mad because I hate losing games so close like that. Those are the games that I hate the most. Yeah. Because and the refs, they played their part in this also. They was tippy. It's just hard to watch it. It's hard to watch it and be calm because it's like we're right there. And then something dumb happens.
Yeah. Let's talk about rotations and substitutions.
We need point guard play, man.
How did you feel about the rotations? Since we were talking a little bit about rotations, how did you feel about the rotations tonight?
Listen, I like when the second unit come in because they just they play more harder, they play more grittier, they go after the ball more, and you can see the intensity from the second half. Frank had a bad game today. Yeah, that's cool, but listen, man. Mitch needs to go down in the G League. He ain't ready yet. He ain't ready yet. He's not ready. He's not ready.
He doesn't really have the strength. You know, he's got to build up his strength. And you know, guys know that, you know, he's a shot blocker. You get him in the lane, throw a pump fake, he's going in the air. Bye, birdie. You know what I mean?
Even though Lance hit a clutch 3, he went back to Lance Thomas again. I can't trust him. He got to go. Even though he hit a clutch 3 today, but he has to go because he reverted back to Lance Thomas. He can go to hell, please.
Everybody's so fickle, man. Everybody is so fickle. So you just want to trade him just like that. A couple weeks ago, I've been
wanting to trade him.
But a couple weeks ago, Mark, you was like, oh yeah, I like what Lance Thomas is doing. Where did Lance Thomas get this game from? And da 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 da. Now it's just boom. It's the total opposite. We got to trade him. We got to let him go. I don't think the Knicks going to trade the guy. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to trade him. I actually think they're going to re-sign him when his contract is up. He may not be a starter forever. He may not even be a rotation player forever. But just some things that I've seen personally from Lance Thomas, I think that's what they like about him. Just his professionalism, his maturity. Those are the things they want that around the young kids. Even if he's not always on the floor, they want that around the young kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I seen him just little things, like he was with his grandmother and he helped his grandmother put a coat on. Not every young player will do that. Not every man will do that. Right? That exudes leadership. And, you know, I seen the way he interacted with my daughter, with me, you know, and it was just a little bit different. Everyone was great and polite, but his, you know, he was just the way that he addressed you as a person was different than some of the other guys. Not that anyone was rude. Everyone was really, really great. But the way that he addressed you, you know, spoke to you like sir and those type of things. That's what I believe David Fizdale, Scott Perry, they want him to be around the young kids so he can teach them that way of being. And that makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense to me. Siobhan Robinson says veteran leadership is trash. It's overrated. It's not overrated. It's not overrated at all. You look at the Washington Wizards back in the day when they had no vets on the squad. And it was JaVale McGee and them boys. Look at the stuff that blocked guns in the locker room and all kinds of crazy stuff. Because there was young dummies. You've got to have vets to help teach these guys how to manage in the NBA. It is a different world. It is a different world. You know what I'm saying? That veteran leadership means a lot, which is the reason why championship teams go out and get vets. Championship teams go out and get vets. We talk about trading Courtney Lee. We say we need to trade him to a team that is contending for a championship or for a playoff spot because they're looking for veterans who exude leadership and know how to get it done, whether it be on the floor or professionally. So you want that type of thing to rub off to Alonzo Trier, to Kevin Knox, to Mitchell Robinson, right? You want that type of character to rub off on them, whether or not they're on the floor or not. He may end up being, in the next year, he may end up being just the guy who sits on the end of the bench and doesn't play only in when it's a blowout. Who knows? Maybe. But the leadership means a whole lot. It really, really does. It means a lot. It means a whole lot when it comes to helping young guys grow. You know what I'm saying? Those mentors, whether or not it's even outside of basketball, just having a mentor helps young men and women grow. So why would the same thing not apply to basketball? You got to have vets out there. You know what I mean? Bronx Knicks fan.
What's up? What's
popping with you, man? I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. Right. What did you think about the rotations and substitutions tonight? Do you think that Frank Ntilikina should have been on Kyrie in the game, on Kyrie in the fourth?
I mean, there were certain things that like I agreed with and certain things that I didn't. The starting lineup, I definitely didn't agree with that. I think that Knox should have started. I don't remember. He didn't start, if I'm correct.
He did not start.
Because having Frank Ntilikina, I think they had him on small forward, right?
Yeah, he was guarding Tatum in the first quarter. He did a good job guarding Tatum, I thought.
I mean, I guess for the most part, but they had him there for like 5 or 6 minutes, and then they rotated and put Knox in. And I mean, obviously, like from what I saw in the game, and I don't want to get off track, but from what I saw in the game, I think it comes down to the problem that we need our big guys there. Like we need Porzingis there on the floor, and that's really what I saw. Like the rotation, as far as like, having Trey Burke guarding Kyrie, I think he did a pretty good job. I mean, this is just my opinion. Like the same way that he was having a hard time guarding Kyrie, I was seeing times where, Kyrie had a pretty hard time guarding Trey Burke when he was, cutting into the lane. That's just, the way that I saw it from what I saw in the game. Yeah.
Okay. Now, but Frank, just going back to what you said about Frank on Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Frank went out with about 4 minutes in the first quarter. I think Jason Tatum had like 1 3 during that stretch. He hit a 3. I thought Frank did a good job. I was a little bit concerned too, because Jason Tatum, has a little bit of size advantage.
He's stronger. That was what I was worried about. Like if he gets him in the post or something like that, I felt like he would have been at a huge disadvantage. The thing that Ntilikina has over him, though, it's that wingspan. So I could see why Fizdale thought it would be a good idea to put him there. But at the same time, I think it comes down to a problem of strength and somebody cutting into the post like Tatum. That's just such a dynamic player that can get you on the from the 3-point line, or come in and just dunk it on you. Like I don't think that Ntilikina would have the strength to hold him down.
Yeah, but with Frank on him, he didn't really do too much with Frank on him. He scored with other guys on him when Frank was out the game. And then, of course, in that fourth quarter, he hit the fadeaway over Hardaway, which was probably expected. As soon as I seen him get the ball in the fourth quarter, I was like, this is a bucket right here. And then he faked Hardaway. Hardaway went for the fake, and he hit the turnaround fadeaway. Yeah. I
mean, there was one thing in the fourth quarter that, it grinded my gears, which was, I believe it was about 8 minutes into the fourth quarter. Alonzo was on the wing and he was open. He was clapping like, pass me the ball.
I seen it.
And I believe it was Hardaway that had the ball. And I think he just went for like trying to go for like this go away, trying to get this shot from 3 that, Alonzo Trier was, open. He was probably made that.
He was wide open, clapping for the ball. If Hardaway would have swung it to him, he either would have knocked down a 3, or the guy would have closed out and he would have penetrated to the lane, scored a bucket, or got fouled, or both.
Yeah.
But Hardaway jacked it up. Yeah. Let me get to the French Unicorn. I'm gonna come back to you. Frenchie, what's popping, bro?
What's up, son? Shout out to the chat. What's up, fellas?
Good, man. Hopefully those shirts fit you good.
Oh yeah, man. I love them.
No doubt. Hopefully they fit you good, man. Yeah, go get you one. You can go right onto the website, nothingbutnicks.com. Go right onto the website and copy your shirt. We got a lot of things up here. We got NYK Run NYC, Nailmatic, Knox City. We got more.
Great quality, guys. It's really good quality. Feels good.
Yeah,
you should definitely support them.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I watched the last show, man. I wish I was there.
Oh, man, we had a ball, man.
Yeah, it looked like it, man.
We had a ball. Yeah, it was great. We had a ball.
It looked like a good crowd of people. Yeah. It looked like you guys had a blast.
Yeah, the vibes were just great, man. It was just awesome.
Like it,
It was just awesome.
It looked like. I'm glad for all of you. I'm glad.
Yeah, appreciate it. I can't wait for the next one. Martin Luther King Day. Well, actually, we're trying to do one in DC. We're trying to get enough tickets for the one in DC.
I told you we'll meet up in DC because my brother got the suite too with his company, so we should be close by.
Yeah,
and we'll get together.
We can get together.
I look forward to it.
Did you watch the game tonight?
Yeah, I watched the game. I thought, being that it was the Celtics, I thought we played all right. Everybody's shitting on everybody, but the only person that I think that might be getting too many minutes is Lance. Not that I don't understand the whole leadership thing, but he hurts us on offense so badly he can't do anything. And I like Vonleh. I think put Vonleh and start him at the 4.
And listen, I think he's hurting. I think that he hurts us on offense as well. At least tonight he did. And just because he's a leader, to me, doesn't mean that he has to be on the floor. You know what I mean?
No,
leaders don't have to be on the floor.
Put him off the bench. I'm not saying get rid of the guy. He's not a total bum, but I think to start the game, I think you don't lose anything on defense with Vonleh, and you get that energy. What I'm noticing about Vonleh, and nobody's talking about, is that the guy can pass the ball, man. He always makes the right play. I think we should try that out.
And he's aggressive at the rim.
Yeah, he's
aggressive at the rim. I think the question that maybe Fizdale would be asking himself is who comes in and rebounds next. I guess what you would have to do is then, if you're going to substitute for Cantor, you move Vonleh over to center and then, move on with the rest of your rotation. It would have to work something like that. But, yeah, we need help rebounding. And the thing is, Vonleh can advance the ball up the floor. He can shoot the 3. He's aggressive on defense. He's competent from 3. He's aggressive on defense. I think that, I think we should give that a try.
And I think he's the better of the 2 signings that we had in the offseason, too. Like, Hezonja, where are you at?
I'm disappointed with Mario Hezonja right now.
I see that he's trying, but it looks like he's always pressing. I seen a few 3-pointers that he just let fly, but every other time it's like I'm hesitant. Like Frank. I think Frank needs to just let it fly sometimes too, and he hesitates. And that hesitation in the NBA don't work.
Yeah, and Frank is able to. Yeah, I see that Frank is able to get to his spots on the floor when he wants to, and he just doesn't do it enough.
Yeah, and I think that today we didn't play Frank as much, but we also had a back-to-back. Frank's been playing the most minutes. I thought some of those guards were doing some good things, and Fizz just rolls with it.
Yeah,
I don't think we should be shitting on Fizz after today because our guys were gritty out there, man.
Yeah,
we played the Celtics well, being that it's the Celtics after a loss. They lost to Toronto yesterday, so they really wanted this one.
We played them tight. We played them well. We played them tight. I'm not upset with the loss. I mean, I'm upset with the loss. I
don't want to lose,
but I'm not upset with what we did tonight. Viv, what do you think about the rotations, man? And substitutions, and what should we do moving forward?
I mean, what we should do moving forward, I think, look, this is more like extended preseason that they're kind of giving Fizz this opportunity to No, these games count, but what you're not getting is that this is more like Fizz is just trying to put things
feeling it out,
see if things actually work or not. And unfortunately, it just means that he's going to let players play through, good times, bad times, and he's going to try to see if they can get out of these, bad, these rough stretches. So he's giving these players a lot more, bait to work with, or they're giving me a lot more rope to work with. So, do I like it? No, but I mean, I guess that's just the mandate, or that's just what was agreed with by the front office and the coaching staff that, we're going to let these players learn. It's like what Fizz said today about, letting Tim guard a LeVert. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it's just what it is. Look, do I want it? I mean, I'd rather have it play, but it's just, we're just if we're just trying out and experimenting, then I guess that's what we just got to run with.
Right. Would you have put Frank on Kyrie in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I probably would have, only because I wasn't much of a fan of some of what the lineups that they were trying to do in the fourth quarter. I don't get why Fizz had to play the the Mitchell and Cantor lineup for even that many minutes before. I thought we saw enough of the Mitchell and Cantor lineup to know that it just doesn't work. I mean, yeah, they had a nice plus minus, but if you really look at it from the grand scheme of things, that lineup is no shot of working. So I probably would have got back with Frank. I would have just kept him in there. Now he had 4 fouls, so maybe did that play a role? I don't know, but
maybe
if I was Fizz, he brought Frank back in. I think with 2 minutes left. I would have played Frank up until maybe 5 or 4 minutes left. So up to that point, with 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter, I would have just tried to run with him and see what happens from there.
Okay.
But look, if he wants to try the lineup, it's all for him. I don't like Vonleh the 4 though. If they do Vonleh the 4, means that there's literally no rebounders on the bench, and I can't see that happening.
Right, and I guess if you did put Vonleh at the 4, then you'd have to stagger. You'd have to, when you did bring in your subs, you brought in your bench rotation. You have to keep Vonleh or Cantor on the floor.
Yep.
To play with the second unit, you would just have to, and then you'd have to stagger the way that you're substituting those 2 guys. But the problem is that we don't have. I mean, you have Mitchell Robinson's not.
He's nowhere close to being. He shouldn't even be playing right now.
Right. So the only true rebounders we have are Vonleh and Cantor. That's it. We have nobody else that can come in and really that you can rely on to get you rebounds. And even Vonleh,
he gets in his way too many times.
Say that again.
He gets in his own way too many times.
Yeah, so we're still not sure if we can rely on that every single night. We know what Cantor's gonna do. Yeah. See, Brandon McNeely asked, "Where's Cornette?" I just don't know. Cornette, I don't know.
I mean, the theory is you could do Cornette. I mean, the only thing that with the Cornette would be interesting is that it would allow you to play him and Vonleh together in a sense that at least Cornette spreads the floor. He can shoot threes, so it makes things interesting on that end. Can he rebound? I don't remember seeing him being much of a rebounder, but I could be wrong. He might have changed. But if Fizz is all about experimenting with different things, then, if I was him, I would try to put a lineup out there with Vonleh and Cornette.
Yeah, I mean,
Mitchell, you got to make Mitchell inactive.
Right, you might need to use Cornette, and from what I remember, he's not bad rebounding. He can give you 5, 6, 7 rebounds, and he'd probably give you a block or 2 as well. And then he can spread
now,
the floor.
Here's the question, Sim. Right? So Fizz is saying, all right, we gotta let players play through their struggles and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The question is it worth it for Mitchell to play through his struggles? Like, is it worth going through all of what he's gonna go through, in a sense?
For Mitch,
yeah.
It's a good question. It's a good question. I think it's worth it for Mitch to play some minutes, give him 10 minutes a game on the NBA level, and then let him get some burn down at the G League on nights that we don't play. I think that's the way I think that's what you do with him. And then,
I guess the question then is, go ahead, Sid.
And then nights that you don't use them, you just don't use them.
Right. I mean, if you go certain nights, I would, if you could play Cornette, right, and if you could try a lineup with Cornette, but it means you don't play Mitch, is it worth, doing that in a sense, just making Mitch inactive and then, just go trying out a Cornette and Vonleh experiment?
I would try. I mean, Cornette is another young guy that you have that you want to develop as well, right? I would try it and see what happens, because you can always send a guy down to the G League to play, and get some bump down there, because his body just isn't strong enough. That's just the biggest thing.
That's my problem, right, Tim? Because his body's not strong enough. He gets in his own way. And the problem is, indirectly, he'll get into everybody else's way.
Yeah.
So that impacts development too, in a sense, because then all your plays get ruined, because he can't. He's fighting on every pump fake, or he's, not rebounding the ball.
Right.
And there was no room for him to work offensively. It's like he had, I think, what was it? Marcus Morris was guarding him, and he wasn't even seriously guarding him either.
Yeah.
Every time he tried to set a pick, I mean, first off, he wasn't really setting a pick properly, and he was, you couldn't even give him the ball. So
his screens, I mean, he basically just brushes the person on the screens. He's got some work to do. Let me get to this call, Viv. Caller, you are on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sims? This is Rob the Nick.
Rob the Nick. What's popping with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
All right, so how you feel about the game?
I watched the game tonight, and I think that, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have no beef. I don't have no beef with him pulling Frank. I don't have no beef with the lineup that he left in there, because the way that I seen the game, Frank wasn't giving it. And as far as the end of the game situation, no, you leave it who brought you back, who kept you in the game. As far as I'm concerned, Trey Burke played a good game. I didn't have no problem with it. He gave it to Kyrie on the other end. In the fourth quarter, I seen as though Kyrie got a couple of calls that changed the little complex of the game down the stretch. That one in between Cantor and when Cantor came, it was him. It was Cantor and Trey Burke on when he tried to split. He walked through it anyway, and I didn't really see no foul there anyway. So as far as like the rotations was concerned, everything was just fine. If you kill what you eat, and that's what you're supposed to do, everybody that was on that floor all the way to the end of the game deserved to be there. Who I had rather seen down the stretch a little bit more, but I didn't have a problem with it, was Dotson. I wouldn't mind seeing him down the stretch a little bit more in the game. As far as like putting Frank in for situational defense, just to guard Kyrie, he wasn't giving nothing on the other end. Of course, if he would have stopped Kyrie, Boston is high power. They had other weapons in other places. And I didn't feel as though Frank would have been able to give you anything in that fourth quarter the way that the game was going. So
listen, you may be right. You may be right. He, even if he was, and you get the ball back, now you got to come down to the other end of the floor. And then what was going to happen on the other end of the floor? I think I think that's the exact reason, because he was a little loosey tonight with the ball. I think that's the reason why Fizdale didn't put him back in, because he wasn't sure if Frank was gonna. He just I mean, there was just some passes. It was like, why are you making that pass? Hold the ball. You know better than that. And they were questionable. So Fizdale kept him on the bench, and I think that's how you hold players accountable.
Yeah, he always said that. He said for effort, he teach those. He said if you get loosey-goosey with the ball and he feels as though something like you being selfish and you're not playing within your game, that he'll pull you.
Yeah. Now that's the only thing, but the only thing I will say,
I just want to say this too. It seems as though everybody in the chat, when Frank makes a mistake, they want to blame Burke. They want to blame, and it's not the case. Frank played the way he played. It didn't have anything to do with them. He played dirty. He played nasty the day he got benched. He's a young player. His ego should be able to handle that. So with that being said, they need to the chat need to really split that. And who's Mark just want to go off and fire everybody? I thought this was player development league this time. In this season, I thought in the beginning everybody said player development. Okay, Lance doesn't need any development, but he did score a crucial 5 points down the stretch. He hit the 2 free throws and he hit the 3-pointer.
He did.
So he did make the game manageable, and he did put his imprint in on the fourth quarter.
Right, and
he played solid defense.
And let me say this. This is how bipolar Mark is when it comes to basketball, right? Talking about Kyrie Irving, he says, well, Kyrie, it don't matter what he's done the first 3 quarters. He's going to pass the ball. He's going to do this, and this. But he came and he did what he did in the fourth quarter. That's what he does. Well, How come the same thing doesn't go for Lance? Lance didn't do nothing the first 3 quarters, but he hit a few big buckets in the 4th quarter to give us a chance to win. Right?
Yo, man.
How come the same thing doesn't apply to Lance?
You're 100% right. Mark is like my old uncle. He's a Knicks fan, but he praises all the other teams, and then he shits on the Knicks. But he's a fan of the Knicks. If you listen to him, he would say he's a fan of the Knicks. But everybody else on every team is doing a whole lot better, and we need that player and that person. But when it comes to our own personnel, we don't need to raise them. We just need to trade them, get that player that he likes, and then put him on the team, and then we're supposed to be better.
Yeah.
Yo, the dude pissed me off so much on that Martin Luther on the first opening night. When he showed up and he started talking, and he was like, "Yo, this dude do this." Oh man, when Young does that, but then when the blowout was in effect, you didn't hear nothing from Mark. I was looking for him to give some props to the Knicks or something. He didn't do nothing. He was like, "Yo, good game, yo," and then he didn't say nothing about nothing. I'm looking at this man like, "Wow, you gonna do it like that?" Yeah. He's just dirty. Okay. He's just dirty on the Knicks, and he don't even realize it. I don't even know who he likes. It sounds like he likes KP a little bit, but he gives it to Knox. He gives it to every player. But all the other players on the other teams, he's in love with them because his heart is not with them, and he just sees the good things in them. But he got to go through the growing pains with the Knicks, and he don't want to have nothing to do with that.
Yeah. I mean, I know Mark is a huge Knicks fan, man. He loves the Knicks. I mean, he might take it to heart a little bit more than everybody else that's in the chat. He really does love the Knicks, man. I mean, he's a super duper Knicks fan. He's as big of a Knicks fan as all of us. He might be a little fair weather and change, by the minute, because if Lance comes out tomorrow or Monday and drops 15, he's gonna be like, this is Lance. This is what I want from him. Blah blah blah. But so he might change with the weather. But I think he's a super duper Knicks fan, though. He just wants the team to be good. I really do.
Hey, look, can I say something about Knox injury?
Yeah. We was just about to get to that. So go ahead, say that, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Okay. This is what I think about his injury. If his injury is lasting from 7 to 10 days, I think it's going to help him because he gets to sit down and watch the pace of the game. Knox's problem is this here. He'll see an opening, and he'll take off too early and can't finish. Mm-hmm. He's always a step. He needs one more extra step or one more extra dribble, and he's not getting that. Or he's putting the ball up in awkward situations. He needs to gather himself. And I think 7 to 10 days of watching the NBA from the bench will help him more than hurt him. And then it will also give your man the big guy, Layden Vonderlei and Dotson some more minutes. And then he can be competitive with something. Because, Sims, I got to tell you one thing. Offensively, he is not no KP. No kind of way. I don't even think he – I used to think that when you said that he could do a little bit more than KD, oh no, you have to take that back.
I'm not taking it back.
Can't. On the NBA level, I don't think that he can right now.
I'm not. Listen,
in the future, he can got the tools to do it, but right now he's not.
I'm not taking it back. I think he has more in the toolbox for the simple fact that he can get the ball and go coast to coast. For the simple fact he can do that, I think he has more in the toolbox. Will he develop to be better than KP? I don't know, but I think he has the ability to. No, he can't. KP cannot take the ball coast to coast.
He done a spinoff, went coast to coast. It was an Atlanta game. I think it was in his
maybe every once in a while. I mean, I seen Manute Bol go coast to coast. Right, I'm talking about really consistently get the ball and just be able to go, like grab it off the backboard and be able to go. That's what I'm talking about consistently. That's something to me.
But look, you can also add this to KP down there. His body going to give him a better back-to-back post-up game than Knox. He going to get there.
I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. Comparing.
See how big he got now?
But listen.
Put that body on somebody coming up.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope that he does. But we're comparing at age to age. right now, I mean, if Kevin Knox wasn't hurt tonight, who knows what he would score. You know, his first 2 games of the season, was he averaging 13.5? That's about the same thing that KP averaged when he was a rookie. I mean, I think this year he probably is going to average a little bit more than KP did as a rookie. KP had 13 a game his first year. It was 13. He had 13 his first year, 13 his first year, 17 his second year. And then his third year, he was 17 or 18 his second year. Third year, he was up to 22. And you can see the different parts of his game. And listen, KP is working on the handle. One day, I think he's going to be able to grab the ball and go coast to coast because he's working on his handle. You see it in his training videos where he's working on it. Bop, 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 bop. He's doing it. He's working on it. It's not there yet because his arm, everything is long. He's 7'3", so he's long. You know what I mean? So it takes the ball a longer time to dribble and hit the ground. But, we'll see how it goes. But I think as rookies, like Kevin Knox as a rookie has more in his toolbox than KP did as a rookie.
But KP was a better rookie.
Yeah. We don't know that yet.
KP shot better. KP shot better from the field. I don't think Knox.
We don't know. It's been 2 games. It's been
about 41, 42 maybe.
It's been 2 games, so we got to see. You know what I'm saying?
I watched him in Kentucky too. But
yeah,
I'm just saying he's gonna probably finish between 41 and about 43.
That's about where KP was as a rookie too. That's about what KP was as a rookie. So yeah,
we'll talk on this more, but I'm gonna let you go.
All right, and I'm gonna let Mark back in the chat because I think Mark about to come in and try to fire you up, bro.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, he about to come in here and try to fire him up. I know Mark's getting back in the chat. Here it comes. He's about to come in and try to fire somebody up. But look, this is when Mark is watching the Knicks games, I can just picture this. You know what I'm saying? This is what I picture going through Mark's head while he's watching the games. Things are just going crazy, moving and running all over the place because he's so excited.
Get me in this chat.
Look at him. He's already. That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't even know that he's in the chat already. He's yelling, "Get me in this chat." He doesn't even know he's already in the chat. That's what I mean. Things are just moving for Mark and just going. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I picture when Mark is watching the games. I don't know if you guys in the chat can see the video. If you can, look at the video. Mark, what's poppin', man? What's up?
Listen, bro.
And before you hold up, before you even go, you asked, did I say that tonight? And you did. You said, yeah, it doesn't matter what Kyrie Irving did. This is what he did in the fourth. But you don't want to give Lance Thomas the same respect. That he scored 5 points in the fourth quarter.
Even though he hit a clutch shot tonight.
Exactly. Lance
Thomas.
Hold up. But even though is the caveat right there. Even though he did this, you know what I'm saying? But there is no even though with Kyrie. That's the caveat. You got to give him his respect too.
It's not simple because he does what he does in the fourth quarter almost every game.
Okay, but give Lance Thomas his respect too. Give him his respect too. He hit some clutch shots tonight. Give him the respect. Give him the respect.
Hold on. Chat, didn't I say even though Lance Thomas hit the clutch shot, Lance Thomas...
Even though is the caveat. That is the caveat. Even though. You know what I'm saying? You're about to say even though he hit clutch shots, he still sucks. You're just not giving him the respect. When 2 weeks ago, you was on his nutsack. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks ago, you was all over him. That's what I'm saying. Get a man the respect.
Didn't I say if Lance Thomas kept up what he was doing in the preseason, he won't be in my doghouse?
Get a man the respect. Just give him the respect. He came through tonight. We played 2 games. He did okay in Atlanta.
Okay, so next question. So you see how you give him give him his respect because he's the only one that scores compared to everyone else. How about that?
He did his thing in Atlanta. He did his thing. He was okay in Atlanta. He didn't play well against the Nets. He hit clutch shots tonight. But you don't give him anything.
What are you talking about? I said even though, but
even though is the caveat, though. Even though is the caveat, my man.
If anybody watches him and tell me Lance Thomas is the NBA starter, son, something's wrong with all of y'all.
Even though is the caveat. Even though is the whole caveat, Mark. That's the whole caveat. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole caveat. The whole caveat is that you're saying even though. With Kyrie Irving, you're not saying even though. It's just that's what he does. When actually Kyrie Irving just didn't play well in the first 3 quarters. Made shots in the fourth because, yes, he's a clutch player. But Lance, give him his respect. He made some clutch shots. Give him his respect. That's all I'm saying. Give him his respect. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, it just is what it is, Mark. It just.
Lance Thomas is gonna be Lance Thomas. Y'all need to get that through your head. Trey Burke ain't no starter. He's who he is. He can't even come off the bench in the Wizards. He's not good.
Sound like Ant. Sound like, just like you said, he got to scream and yell. Now he's done talking. Let me get to this phone call, man. We got Ron Martinez on the line. Ron Martinez, what's popping, my brother?
What's going on, Simeon? How's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you? How you doing?
Hanging in there, brother. Shout out to the chat, man. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah, glad to hear your voice, man. It's been a minute. Did you watch the game tonight?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I caught the game tonight. It was, I kind of felt like most fans, I guess, just. I mean, from the last show, mostly everybody, if I'm correct, is predicting that L anyway. So
yeah,
but I wanted to see I just wanted to see them compete,
Yeah, right, exactly.
I wanted to see them, if we got the W, that would have been the cherry on top. But I was just like, please, just don't get blown out at home,
Yeah, that was a big thing. I didn't want. Listen. I'm glad that we came back and we could have melted after that loss to the Nets. And in the first half, I felt I was a little bit afraid. I thought maybe we were going to just melt it and drop it, and it was like, wow, here we go. It's going to be a rough one. Yeah. But they showed some guts.
Yeah,
they showed some guts.
You know what I mean? And we need that. We need that in the Garden because I know it's a young team, but I think like Fizdale's trying to change the culture in the Garden where it's like, because you don't have to be a championship contender to make it a hard game for the road team. Because there's a lot of arenas in the league where they're not winning a championship this year, but it's hard to win. For some reason, it's hard to win in that building. So we got to get that back.
Yeah. What do you think about Knox's injury? What do you think about Knox's injury? Knox's injury. How is that going to? Yeah. How is Knox's injury? How's it going to impact him and the team?
Yeah, man. I noticed when he runs, when he goes coast to coast, he kind of got like a long stride. Like John, he reminds me sometimes like Giannis. When Giannis runs, he has that long stride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he's running, when he's taking it from coast to coast. But the thing is that, and I don't know if that has to do with the fact that if it was bad luck. Because I've heard the announcer saying there might have been some sweat on the floor, or I don't know if the way he taped his ankles. Because some guys have problems. In the league, some guys got weaker ankles than others. So I don't know. If it has to do with who knows if it's genetics or what. Because you see guys like LeBron where they're made out of metal. It's like how this guy never twisted his ankle, and this guy, he's a young thoroughbred, and he's already twisting his ankle. Like this, third game of the season, or second game? Was it the third game already?
Third game of the season. And he definitely didn't slip on any sweat.
Right.
He definitely didn't do that. I mean, he just landed. And when he landed on it, his foot rolled. The one thing that I see that he tries to do is get low. Right. Which is something that is taught to players to be the lowest, person on the floor. Not on the floor.
Right.
When you have a defender on you, or if you're on offense, or if you're the defender, you want to be lower than the person you're defending. If you're on offense, you want to be lower than the person who is defending you. And I think he was just trying to get low, and he twisted that ankle. He just rolled it. It happens to basketball players all the time. You know what I mean? he just came down on it and rolled it. Rolled it pretty good. You know what I mean? He rolled it pretty good, and I know that was painful. I've had it done more than a lot of times. I've done it a lot of times. It was definitely painful.
Oh, I know. Years ago, I was stupid enough to play ball. Coming out, this was back like in the '90s before I moved down to Florida, and guys want to play a quick 3-on-3, and I didn't have my shoes. I had my Timbs on. I was working construction. That was dumb of me, and I came on someone's ankle, and I tore all my ligaments on both sides of my ankle. I was in crutches for weeks.
Wow.
So it was tight. And what I did was going for a rebound. I came down, so I just happened to come on someone's foot, and I figured, I'm on Timbs, I'm okay, but those are not playing shoes. Those are boots. But and boy, the next morning my ankle was purple all over. It was just purple. Everything was purple. So I was on crutches for a minute. So I know that. Trust me, that pain when I twisted my ankle, I heard the noise in my ear. That's how bad it was.
Yep. and it when you twist your ankle like that, you think you did something really, really serious. Because that's how painful it is, man.
I couldn't even stand on it. The next morning I got out of bed, I dropped to the floor because I thought it was like, I'll just roll, I'll roll, put some ice in there, roll it on a bottle. I was in the park, The next morning when I got out of bed, I collapsed because my ankle was looked like my calf. It swelled up, and I had to go to that's when I found out how bad it was. I didn't know how bad I really twisted until the next day. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's before painful. I forget, I was gonna ask you when you talking about the MLK game that's coming up that you guys are trying to get together. Yeah. You guys, is that like a group thing you guys doing on your website, or are you doing that? How do you get the tickets for that?
You can buy it right on the website. You go on the website, you can purchase the tickets.
Okay, so on your website, right?
On my website, yeah. Yep, and then and then when I get all the money, I purchase them from Madison Square Garden. Because it's a group.
So between now and then, I'm gonna have to probably get some info, because I haven't been up north. I got family up there, but I really don't want to stay with the family. I want to stay in a hotel, so I'll have to get some information on any hotels you guys recommend, because I haven't been up there for a minute. So
yeah, all right, that'd be nice, man. Hopefully you can make it. Yeah. So let me ask you before I let you. Yeah, before I let you go, let me ask you this: with Knox going out, all right, he wasn't in the starting lineup. Who's going to be the person that takes his position in the rotation until he's back?
Until he's back. Well, I'm looking at the combinations that he had there tonight. In my mind, I thought it was going to be Super Mario, but he wasn't in there He wasn't in there that long, So I thought he was going to get some more, playing time. But for whatever reason, I don't know how many minutes he played tonight, but he wasn't in there that long.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, maybe him, because the reason I'm thinking him is because the other day I was watching a video with Steve Mills and Scott Perry. It was a meeting they had at the Garden with the season ticket holders, and it was like a town hall type of thing. They were asking, I don't know if you've seen it, where they were asking questions. All the season ticket holders at a meeting with the coach Fizz and Steve. Asked them a lot of questions, and I noticed that in one of the questions that one of the fans asked them about this year, it seems like they want to make, because I think it was Steve Mills saying that he said that they don't want to talk about free agents until the summertime, because he says we got free agents that want to come back this year, and we got to see if we got to see what they can do. So I'm thinking like Fizz Day. I know he's right now trying to develop these young players here, but what about those guys that are trying to play for next year's contract? Like, are they gonna ride that bench, or because those guys eventually they're gonna get frustrated when they don't get no playing time. Yeah. Like Super Mario's coming. So I'm thinking right now is like, besides him, because I know I know tonight he tried to try different combinations. Like, of course, by Knox going down, it forced him to probably play guys that he was not going to play tonight. But I'm hoping that I'm hoping that, like, like he said, that he's a young guy. Hopefully, he's only like a couple of days, not like a serious injury where he's out 2 weeks. So I guess we'll find out, in the next couple of days how bad that sprain was. But if he's out for a long period of time there, what happened to Cornette? I haven't seen him for he hasn't played at all this season, right?
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't played at all.
So I'm thinking, I like to see him, because, one thing I noticed in these last couple of games, and I'm pretty sure, you can give me your opinion about this, but besides us that, we don't, I don't know what the percentage was as far as shooting the 3-ball tonight, but I know we're struggling on, like, I noticed on getting out to the shooters and the 3-point line, we're still struggling with that. On rotations, I noticed that we get killed on that sometimes on certain teams. Like with the Nets, they were killing us on the 3.
Yeah, I think the Celtics were, they shot pretty well from 3 tonight. That's still an issue. That's still an issue. Hey, man, I'm gonna let you go. I know we got some other calls. I appreciate you calling in. It was great to hear from you because it's been a while.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy down here, so I've had a chance to call in.
Yeah, I can imagine. I appreciate it, Ron.
All right, see, man.
All right, peace, man. Have a good one.
All right, peace out, brother. All right, take care.
Yeah. Who do we sub? Who do we put into that spot in the rotation? Is it Damian Dotson? I mean, Damian Dotson is 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". Knox is playing that 3 and 4 position. Is Damian Dotson going to play that 3 and 4 position? We've seen tonight. We've seen him get posted up a lot by one of the Morris brother there. That could be an issue. I doubt you're going to play him really at the 3 that much, maybe a little bit, as long as you have a bigger 4 in the game. That's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to be, just because Damian Dotson played well tonight doesn't mean it's always going to be the case. It's going to fluctuate probably. They'll probably do it by committee between Mario Hezonja and Damian Dotson. And unfortunately for some of you all, this means that Lance Thomas is going to play more minutes. Likely. And some of you all may not be too happy about that, but he may play more minutes. Lance Thomas. Yeah, who's Mark? Kevin Knox is hurt. Lance Thomas may play more minutes. Better get used to it, my man. Better get used to it. So we'll see where that goes. And let me tell you guys something. The one thing, Lance Thomas is taller than probably that 6'8" suggests. I seen him standing toe to toe with Noah Vonleh. Noah Vonleh is supposed to be 6'10" or so. They were about the same height. So either Lance Thomas is taller than they say, or Noah Vonleh is actually a little shorter than they list him. One of the two. But I want to get to the chat and find out what they think. And
yo, what's up, Sam?
Who replaces?
I think Dotson is a good choice. I think we may see Prince's boy Moutier get a couple minutes. I think with Knox, I don't think you can't dress. I think we're gonna need the extra body because Moutier is 6'5".
Moutier's like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, so I could see Moutier getting a couple minutes. Maybe they call up, or maybe they dress Hicks a couple games. I don't think there's anybody that can really replace him. I think the ideal person to take his spots is Hezonja, if he can get his act together. I think he just needs to focus on doing what he does best, just like being a point forward and taking open shots, all that other fancy stuff, and trying to push the ball and get into the paint.
Who you talking about?
So
who you saying?
I think he needs to simplify his game a little bit until he gets his confidence back.
Yeah, he always feels like he's pushing. I forgot who said that earlier. Someone said it earlier. Maybe it was French Unicorn. He always feels like he's forcing and pushing.
Yeah.
I don't always feel comfortable. And he makes some iffy passes sometimes, cross court passes, and does some things that I'm like, what are you doing?
He never makes the easy play.
Yeah, never. Ever. Right. Exactly. So. Yeah, they'll probably, it may be a night by night thing depending on who's hot, who's doing what. Right. Could be a night by night thing. Prince.
It's gonna be rough though. We're gonna need Tim to keep scoring, or we may get some bad losses. So hopefully Tim could keep and up his percentage a little bit and keep putting the ball in the basket because we're gonna need it.
He shot 38% today from the field. He shot 38% from the field today. So, Prince, what do you think, man?
Sam, I think I'm definitely sad to see my boy got to sit for 2 to 4 weeks. But I think it may do him some good to see the game from a different approach. Kind of work on his body a little bit more. I know it sucks that he ain't gonna be able to do much conditioning and running with the team. That really hurts. But as far as picking up his minutes, I think Dotson definitely will pick up a lot of his minutes going forward. Hopefully Herzonia, whatever he got going on with him, he can pick up because, definitely we thought he was going to be the guy. So hopefully he'll pick up, the slack with Knox being gone. And hopefully, like Aunt G said, my boy Moutier, hopefully he come back healthy and he can give us some decent, consistent minutes.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. When is Moutier supposed to come back?
Honestly, that's one thing that I need to read up on myself. I really don't even know really why he's out. I know it was an injury in preseason, but I didn't think it would be this extensive. But I think he turned his ankle too, as sad as it may sound. I think he may have turned his ankle too.
Yeah. Viv, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it will be one player that replaces Knox while he's out. I think a lot of it's just going to depend on the matchup and, if anyone's hot or not. But obviously, Mario Hezonja is going to get a lot of opportunity to show something. And, if he can't show something, then maybe it's an opportunity to go big. And perhaps that means you play a Mitchell Robinson or you play you can play, Cornette there. Obviously, Damian Dotson will probably get more minutes going forward, too. Does it also mean maybe one of the other guys that are inactive, such as like Isaiah Hicks, maybe they give him a potential opportunity? I don't know. But I think what will most likely happen is Dotson will get minutes. Hezonja will get an opportunity to shine, and they may try to go big at times with Mitchell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's probably gonna be done by committee, and so that's the official word. 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks before he's back. All right. And
Moutier is out with the right ankle sprain, so obviously I forgot about Moutier. Moutier will also get an opportunity to play, but it probably won't be because of the Knox injury. He'll get an opportunity just because of the guard rotation as is.
Yeah. Right. All right. Let me see. Nate. Who replaces Knox? You got your phone on mute, Nate. I can't hear you. You got your phone on mute. You gotta unmute it. Not flip it. Unmute it. There you go.
There you go. I'm sorry, man. Who replaces Knox? I gotta say Dot, man. He's got the ability to shoot the three. He played some good defense tonight. Mm-hmm. Give him his chance. I think I was telling my friend after Knox got hurt, I was like, next man up, and surprisingly it's got to be Dot. I think he's kind of sat there and kind of waited his turn, and give the guy a chance.
Any chance Isaiah Hicks get in the mix?
I hope not. No, I definitely think we need to see definitely more of Vonleh for sure. I definitely think Vonleh needs to come off the bench a lot earlier because he does give a lot of hustle, and he does rebound at a high click. You think he had like 10 rebounds in 11 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I think that Isaiah Hicks is at the very least will be brought up. Maybe he gets in, maybe he doesn't. But I think because you're losing a big, I think that they'll probably bring him up for maybe for those 2 to 4 weeks, to just in case, because you're losing a big.
Yeah, I mean,
bring him up just in case.
I mean, I think Kornet needs to play over him. I mean, we need to give Kornet some burn too. I mean, he's a big guy who can shoot the three. You know, I understand he's kind of flat-footed, but I mean, we got to see what we got in him too. I mean, so you know, like the chat said, I think that Fizdale is playing with the rotations and really doesn't know exactly what he's got going on right now, and having Knox hurt is not helping either. So we'll see.
Right. Okay. Has Damian Dotson earned consistent minutes in the lineup after tonight? Just give me a quick yes or no, and I'm gonna go around with everyone. Okay, you say yes. Prince, has Damian Dotson earned consistent minutes after tonight? Has he earned consistent minutes in the lineup?
Yes, he shot the ball. Yes.
Okay. Ant.
I think it's long overdue. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Viv.
Yes.
Yes. French Unicorn. Has Damian Dotson earned consistent minutes? Yep.
Yes, 100%. He played a good game today.
Okay. And we got, I'm not sure who this is that's in the chat.
Consistent minutes. After tonight, has he earned consistent minutes?
My man, can you turn that down?
Radio off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he can.
Long overdue, absolutely.
I don't think he understands exactly how the chat works. So maybe you guys can just let him know. Just let him know how it works.
Yet. We haven't heard him yet.
Yeah. So when he does, maybe you can let him know. I think Damian Dotson has earned consistent minutes, and he should get consistent minutes. And I'm still hoping. I'm holding on to my hope from last year when I first started seeing him play last year, a long time ago. And I was like, I hope this guy starts to get Hardaway's minutes. I'm holding on to hope. I do not think it's going to happen because Hardaway is just more aggressive trying to score the ball, and we need that right now. Unfortunately, we do need it right now.
We need a Jeremy Lin moment, yo.
You know, I just hate that inefficient play that he gives us, but I do understand that he's aggressive. But I think Damian Dotson earned consistent minutes, and that he's going to. I think he's going to take hold of it this time. Last year he wasn't ready, maybe he was a little bit nervous. I think this year he's going to take hold of it, and there's going to be he's going to create more questions than we have answers probably when it comes to this lineup. Let's talk about the Bucks. I'm gonna go around. I want you to tell us real quick, what do we have to do? What do we have to do to beat the Bucks? And I'm on you. What do we got to do to beat the Bucks? Let's just talk about it a little bit. I'm gonna have a full preview probably tomorrow. But just a little quick preview. What do we got to do?
Shut off the other sources of offense on that team. Antetokounmpo is gonna do what he does, but we got to make sure everybody else stays at bay. I think we're gonna have to hit some threes. We're gonna need Tim, Cantor, Trier, the usual suspects to have good offensive games, and we have to get stops. We have to, and I think we could be competitive once again. I'm not a big fan of the Bucks. I like Giannis, but the rest of that team I'm not really excited about. So I think we can steal a win. I think so.
Who guards Giannis?
Nobody.
I think they'll probably put Lance on him.
Yeah, Lance. Lance probably the best person to throw on him, but
yeah, they're probably going to start with Lance. I do not expect a lineup change in the starting lineup versus the Bucks. I don't think, maybe, but I don't think there's going to be a lineup change. No. And I probably see Lance starting off on Giannis. And then again, we got another big guard that Trey Burke is going to have to deal with when we're talking about Eric Bledsoe. Got another big guard that he's got to deal with. He's a little bit bigger than Kyrie, probably. And a little bit stronger than Kyrie and faster than Kyrie, I think. Maybe
he's not as good.
He's not as good as Kyrie. He may not be as explosive going to the basket. Right. But he's fast, maybe faster and more powerful than Kyrie. Yeah. And he's a guy that can, Kyrie is not really going to be the kind. He's not the kind of guard that's gonna post you and back you down. But Bledsoe maybe could. and he's gonna come at you 100 miles an hour. That's a big dude, and Trey Burke's gonna have to deal with him. Nate.
Man, let's just hope Giannis doesn't show up to the game because that's probably going to be our best defense. I mean, it's going to be hard either way, man. I mean, I honestly think Fizdale should maybe double team Giannis and just take our chances with the other guys, making shots because, I mean, I'd rather have Giannis double teamed. I mean, whatever you got to do, get the ball out of his hands. So, I mean, that's the only chance we're going to have.
Okay, now, Lance didn't do too bad on Giannis last year. Giannis is going to get his no matter who's on him, but Lance didn't do too
Giannis, he's a beast, man.
He is.
He's just so long.
He is. And, that's going to be right now, Antetokounmpo he's averaging 25.5 points per game, 16.5 rebounds per game, 6.5 assists per game. Shooting 47.7% from the field. Will he keep up that rebounding clip? Maybe not. Maybe so. Maybe he's just developed that part of his game so far. I mean, he hasn't shot on a 3 yet this season. He's definitely a beast to deal with.
Yeah, I was hoping Knox was going to play him. I wanted to see the young guy go after him, but him being hurt.
That's a lot to deal with, man. That is a lot to deal with.
That's what I'm saying. Got to double team him.
Weasel the Misfit.
Get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, Weasel the Misfit. Thank you for the super chat. Says make Giannis shoot. Double him on penetration. Okay, make him shoot the ball. And let me give a couple of shout outs before I move forward. Terran Mosley in the beginning said he doesn't want to hear anything about Frank or Baker. Well, you heard about Frank, but we know what Frank did. Philip Reed, thank you for the super chat, said, I really like what Fizz is showing. That's a championship contending team that had a hard time with a team with no stars and won by 2. Keep growing. Yeah, we definitely came out and played hard. Siobhan Robinson, thank you for the super chat. Talked about Lance Thomas and his veteran leadership. Correct Defense said that one thing that was confirmed tonight is that Tim Hardaway is and always will be a chucker, and he's going to chuck Monday night versus the Bucks. You can almost guarantee that.
You need him
The Bucks, and I'm gonna come over to Prince. What do you?
I'm sitting over here thinking about it some. Definitely, I think we're gonna definitely have to play good team defense, man. That's gonna be one of the sticklers to beat a good team like that. Watching they highlights a couple days ago, they moved the ball real well. And that whatever sister Budenholzer got them running, it looks good. So we're gonna have to play good defense from a team standpoint. Just thinking that we can stop Antetokounmpo, that ain't gonna be it, because again we got to stop Middleton. He's a force to be reckoned with. And then also much like you said with Bledsoe he's a running back he's a running back at point guard. You know what I'm saying? Much like you said. So, right. I think the key is going to be definitely playing good team defense, sharing the ball. We got to score in transition. That's the thing that since preseason, not preseason, but summer league, like I haven't seen us really score in transition. Like just off of quick steals and quick moving the ball up the court. We haven't been scoring like that in the last 3 games or definitely last tonight and the other night. I haven't seen our transition buckets. So hopefully we can get some good transition buckets. And also, it definitely starts on the defensive end. I just go back there. That's all that's really screaming in my head right now, Sam, is defense. That's truly the only way that I really think that we're going to be able to scheme and beat this team is playing defense, and then our offense will find a way, to win and score buckets. So I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay. The Bucks are right now averaging like 115 points a game. They're giving up 106 points per game. That's going to be tough to deal with. With. Yeah, Viv, what do you think, man?
Yeah, we gotta pray.
We gotta pray. Okay.
Look, Look, the Bucks about them. So look, if you're gonna even think about even getting close to being the Bucks, following has to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have bad offensive possessions. The moment you have bad offensive possessions, they're going on the break.
Right.
They go on the break, you're dead on arrival because Giannis is gonna get a dunk, and if he doesn't get a dunk, he's gonna go to the line. And the more he goes to the line, the more you're in foul trouble. The more you're in foul trouble, it's gonna be bad. Second thing you gotta do is you have to understand that everyone could shoot, and everyone on that team will pass the ball too. So, when Bledsoe beats you on dribble penetration, you just gotta understand that the moment you try to help, that ball is gonna go around to somebody else. It's gonna go around to somebody else, and Brook Lopez is a starter, and he can shoot threes. So that's about that. Everyone can shoot, and that's gonna get bad. They have a lot of defenders. They got John Henson's still on the team. I think they use Thon Maker here and there, but they got a lot of interior defense, so it's going to be very difficult to get to the bucket like we had before. Because except for Jared Allen, we didn't really face a lot of. The Hawks and the Celtics don't really have shot blockers the way the Bucks do. So
the Bucks are just a super duper long team.
Yeah, that's gonna be the huge issue that we probably are gonna not be able to overcome. I mean, it's gonna take a lot, to even think about it. You're gonna have to pretty much. I mean, you gotta slow the pace down as much as you can, and you gotta make sure you get baskets there, because the moment you try to go on a fast pace, you're gonna miss a lot of shots, and then it makes life easy for Milwaukee.
Yeah, and the last thing, we need to get offensive rebounds, as many as we can. We need to get offensive rebounds, I think, so that we can stop the break. We need to be efficient from the field, because if we're making shots, then it's going to negate them running. The last thing we want to do is let them get out and run.
Yeah, and I mean, the only bright side in that sense is that, Brook Lopez isn't much of a rebounder. However, Giannis is probably doing a lot of rebounding now. So whoever is boxing out on Giannis, good luck, because you're probably going to lose that battle. Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, the guards have to rebound. Because remember, Middleton and Bledsoe could both box out and grab a lot of rebounds too.
Yeah. French, what's going on, man?
I think that this year shouldn't be thought of as wins and losses, because we're going to lose a lot of games. That's just how I feel. What do I think that we could do to beat Milwaukee? We got to slow Giannis down, and that's basically what we have to do, because everything revolves around him. But we have the one thing we don't have the one thing we need the most of, and that's rim protection. With that team, they're just going to dunk all over us. We don't have the athleticism to run with these guys. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's why Brooklyn beat us too. I just felt like we couldn't protect the rim, and then they just kept getting those easy layups and dunks, and then hit all those threes. The things we can't defend well. That's what the Bucks do well. They dunk the ball, they shoot threes. Hopefully we have a good defensive day.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I agree with Viv. We probably want to slow it down a little bit. Try to score in the paint, right? Instead of taking mid-range shots. We want to take threes, but we need to take good threes that are within the flow of the offense, because we need to be in position to get back in transition. If we're not in position, if we're taking bad shots, that's another thing about inefficiency and taking bad shots. You're not in position to get back on defense. And, and that's going to be a problem when you're playing the Bucks, because the Bucks are going to run. And if you let them get out on you, it's going to be a dunk fest. And the game could be over early. So we've got to take good shots, smart shots. And if that means we got to slow it down and go into canter, we break when we get a chance to break. But if we got to go into canter so that we're taking shots close to the basket, which is going to give us time to get back on defense, then maybe that's what we have to do.
And with Brook Lopez, we should be able to establish Cantor in the middle because Brook Lopez is not a defender.
Right.
Not a good defender. But I like Viv's idea of praying. That can never hurt us.
Right.
I think that might, if we all bond together and pray, it might help.
There it is. That's what we might have to do. Let me get to my man in the red coat because I haven't had a chance to hear from him yet. Hey, my man, how you doing?
Good, man. I'm doing good. How you all doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. What's your name?
Hey, my name is Salim, and I thank you for trying to get me on it. This is my first time on this particular app. I don't even know how it works, but I'm glad it works now.
Yeah, it's working, man. I'm glad to have you on. Salim, right? Glad to have you on. Glad you joined us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, I love this chat. I think people know what they're talking about. I appreciate you being, facilitating this.
I appreciate it.
You know it. You know it. You know it.
I'm glad you came on, man. I'm glad you came on.
You got me. Hey, so, look. Let me ask you all one thing, okay? Now, picture this. Go back last year, and imagine we got Fizdale. What do you think it'll be? Imagine the beginning of the season, we got everybody healthy, and we got this coach. What do you think is going to happen?
If we would have had him last year?
Yep. And imagine we got KP healthy, and everybody's rocking and rolling. We got the veterans, young players. What do you think it would have happened?
We could have been a good team. Look, we started off the season last year pretty good. Maybe with Fizdale, we could have been a decent team last year.
You think we would have made playoffs?
Well, if KP still got hurt, maybe not.
No. Imagine he's not injured. He came in. He started.
If he did not get injured last year and we had Fizdale, yeah, we probably make the playoffs. Probably make the playoffs, or at least fight, or at least close. But then, of course, we wouldn't have Knox. That's a byproduct of last season. Look, the team that we have right now with this squad right now, I believe if we have KP, we'd be a playoff team. We'd be above 500 and in the playoffs if we had KP with this squad right here.
Yes, I believe that. I think that's a good assessment. I think what we need to do as a team, we have to understand. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Don't worry about those guys talking in the background because they're going to talk.
That's kind of confusing me a little.
Yeah, I know. Everyone that's new has to kind of learn the app a little bit.
I see.
Yeah, and once you learn, I don't know if you're on your phone or your computer, but you can mute those guys.
I am on my phone, yeah.
Okay, so once you learn the app a little bit, you understand that you can mute those guys so that you and I can talk. Yeah.
I hear you, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. I'm really liking this coach. I like his attitude, and I like how he treats, the players, and you can tell the players have a lot of respect for him all the way. You can tell already.
Yeah. I think,
but he
I think
would
they
eventually.
do.
But here's the thing, okay? Coach has to gain respect.
Mm-hmm.
He has to gain respect among the players. Look, he has to gain respect. Sometimes he's going to play a little differently, but when it's all said and done, he'll get the respect, and people will start acting like it.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, Celine. What do you think about the Bucks? What do we got to do against the Bucks?
Just to be honest with you, Bucks are really up the team, man. They go up and down like crazy. It's really fun to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
We're nowhere near, to fight with these guys,
Yeah.
Tough one. It's going to be a tough one. If I really want a game, I will say, you know what? Put that and let it stick out. We can't time, but
yeah. Well, let me find out. Let me talk to Guillermo for a minute. Guillermo,
it's good, man.
What's good? What's going on with you? Talk to me about the Bucks.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. What you saying, sir?
Talk to me about the Bucks. What do we got to do against the Bucks?
You got to close out, man. I don't know how well they're shooting a three this year, but last year, at least what I saw in the playoffs, that was a team that they struggled with the 3-point shooting. But they have capable guys. Look, you're gonna have to deal with Drew Bledsoe, who is a bulldog, right? He gets to the rim, but he's not the greatest of shooters, so you're not gonna have as much of a Kyrie situation where this guy can like really pull back or just hurt you with the shot. Mm-hmm. But you have to close out on a three on a defensive end, man. Too many times tonight, guys are open. Marcus Morris shouldn't be open for threes constantly. Kyrie Irving, as good as he is, him and Tatum just had too many open threes in the middle of the game. And look, the Knicks for the second night in a row they came back, try to win the game. But a lot of those mistakes, when you eliminate some of those mistakes, 6 9 points right there, 15 points of easy shots you're making. Sometimes that could just be a 2, sometimes it could be a missed shot. So got to find a way to close out on defense. At the beginning of the season, the preseason, I was seeing these guys like hungry, closing out on their threes, closing out on the shots. And all of a sudden now it's like, guys are getting stuck and losing their man or losing the guy they're supposed to switch to. So, Fizza has to clean that up. Clean that up quick. Yeah, and they have big men who can score. We haven't really – sorry to keep going, but, I mean, look at the guys who played so far. The big men aren't the most talented outside of Horford, but that team, all they got is just a bunch of big men who can score. So
yeah, exactly. The preseason and the regular season are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So once teams really start scheming, then it gets a little bit harder to guard the three.
So Sim, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why does he keep playing, and he better not play for the Bucks because we get killed. Why does he keep playing that Frank Ntilikina, Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway Jr. Lineup? Like, I'm sorry, don't get me wrong. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a good game today because he was driving to the basket, which I've pleaded for him to do. But Trey Burke, the ball slows down too much. I'm sorry, man. Like, I still don't think they went enough to Cantor when those two were in. And it just seems like it's just between those two. The offense kind of gets stagnant. They were getting lazy because once one guy picks up his dribble, if the other guy's not around, he kind of lollygags and kind of doesn't know whether he wants to drive the basket or shoot and gets stuck in the corner. Why does he keep playing those three guys?
Well, I mean, that's his lineup right now. I guess we'll see. We'll see after a few games if he switches it up. Right now, it's not working. That starting lineup isn't working right now.
No,
it's not working at all. I mean, that starting lineup is it's hurting us. But chat, I'm gonna come around, let you get some let you get some last words in. We've been on for 2 hours. We're gonna call this a night. Guillermo, I know you came on late, but if I'll save you for last, Guillermo, since you just got it, since you just got here. I'm gonna start with Nate.
What's up, man?
Why don't you give us your last words, man?
Last words, okay. It was frustrating loss. I understand this team is young, and hey, we're gonna have a lot more losses like this. But I just want to see better execution in the fourth quarter. I mean, because that's where the games are won and lost. And last year, that was the biggest knock on Hornacek for the Knicks is the execution at the end. Yeah. So hopefully we don't see Frank on the bench all the time. I trust this regime that they're gonna know it, they're gonna get it right. So I'm happy with the potential we have on this team. And hey, let's get it going. Let's go to Milwaukee. Let's pull a shocker and get a win.
Well, let's see. We're definitely gonna try. We're gonna try, but we got a lot to deal with in Milwaukee.
Nobody thought we were gonna win this game, so hey, you never know.
And we didn't, but we were close.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Nobody thought we were gonna even be close in this game. Sorry, my bad.
All right, later, man.
It's late, man. It's late. Have a good night. Bye.
Peace. Prince.
Hey, you wild, man. Like I said. You a wild dude, Sim. The last words, man. Hey, man, salute the chat. Aunt G, you crazy too. That's all I can say. Hey, man, good chat tonight. I'm not gonna lose my wig. We got 80 more games to go. Monday night, we'll definitely see y'all. We're going to be talking about, some more craziness. Hopefully, like I said, maybe we can, if it's another tight game, hopefully we can win this one. We need to, like Sim, I think you said that earlier, I really want us to learn and turned a corner with being a young team to figure out a way to win some of these tight games, these 1-point games where we lose. Like me and you was talking in the beginning of the chat. In the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, like find a way to win. That last 2 minutes so that we can pull out some of these tough games. But hey, man, shout out to chat. Shout out, nothing but Knicks. See y'all on Monday. Everybody be safe. Peace and love, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Peace. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, Prince.
Peace.
All right. Peace. All right. Let me see. Viv. What's going on, Viv?
Yeah, so it's a tough loss. It's been actually a long day for me. So I was just like, man, this is like the worst way. This is like a terrible way to end it. But look, it's gonna be a long season, man. This is gonna be one of many losses. So, hopefully the team learns their lessons. And it's gonna be hard for this stretch, right? Because there's a lot of games coming up. But
yeah, as a matter of fact, if you look at the upcoming games, and Raheem said Raheem just said in the chat, he said a lot of shows are gonna be like this, huh? Looking at our season right now, a lot of shows may be like this, man. We'll see. We'll see how it is. Until we learn to pull these games out in the end, then it's gonna be like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, if you can find like certain positives that you can take out of the, each and every game, that's what that's the most important takeaway. But look, it's gonna be tough in Milwaukee, so there's no reason to be overreacting, on Monday if anything goes wrong. We're facing very good teams in Milwaukee, and then eventually Miami and Golden State. So
and that's what hurts when you don't get a win, like when you don't get a game like the Brooklyn game.
You don't get that win. I mean,
right, when you don't get that Brooklyn game, you had a chance in the Boston game, and that's all we can ask for is a chance. But you don't get that Brooklyn game, that hurts. Right, because we could be 2-1.
I think the key is the players just have to understand not to get frustrated, because this is, I know you don't like saying it, but this is really going to be a process.
It is going to be a process.
Just going to be, it's like the word is not. I don't like the word. It's just going to be like it's a grind. Let's just say it's a grind, right? It's going to be a grind.
And listen, a process and a tank is two different things to me. You know what I'm saying? We know there's going to be a process, and we're going to have to find a way.
Yeah, let's make it clear. This is not tanking. Tanking is it goes in different. No one's tanking. Exactly. And this is just going to be a grind, and it's going to take a while.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at our upcoming games, our upcoming schedule is going to be we got a tough schedule coming up. Let me see. Let me pull this back up again. Looking at our upcoming games, we have Milwaukee on Monday. Okay, we have Milwaukee on Monday, and then we have Milwaukee on Monday, Miami on Wednesday, Golden State on Friday. Then we'll play Brooklyn on the following Monday, the 29th. Then we got Indiana. Right, so that stretch right there, Boston, that we played tonight. Milwaukee, Miami, Golden State. That's a tough stretch. Then you got Brooklyn, Indiana. That's a tough game. Right? Then it gets a little bit lighter. We got Dallas, Washington, Chicago, Atlanta.
Well, Dallas just scored 130 something against Minnesota. So
Dallas is not going to be easy.
Yeah, none of them, except for Atlanta, none of these games were easy. So I think every team plays scrappy and they play hard. So we have to take what we learned from these last few games and just apply it to the next game and not be frustrated when things don't work out the way it does.
Yeah. Now let me ask you: can we pick off any of these games in the next stretch? We got Milwaukee. That's going to be tough. Then Miami. Can we pick off of Miami? Golden State.
Miami.
You're probably not picking off Golden State.
No, that's going to be
hopefully we can beat
a healthy loss.
I think you could pick off probably Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And you could probably maybe Dallas, one of those two, and then Miami's a wild card. We've had situations where we beat Miami where we had no business beating them, but obviously we're talking about a different team. The difference is Miami has a lot of scrappy players that they can cause a lot of havoc.
Right.
But if any of those teams, it could be Miami, but that's my wild card, I think.
Yeah, maybe we can pick off of Miami. We hopefully can beat Brooklyn when we play them again. Maybe we can pick off of Dallas. Maybe we can beat Chicago when we play them. Washington. You know what? For some reason, I always like our matchup with Washington.
Well, I don't like Washington this year. So I think Washington's a team that can easily be beat because they're also a team that gets easily frustrated. So we're a type of team that can frustrate teams like Washington.
Yeah. So
you need better guard play though.
Yeah, you'll need better guard play. German said we need better guard play. So that's definitely true. But like Washington's a team that gets easily frustrated over stupid things. So I could see like Cantor getting a lot of box out offensive boards or something like that. That's like a one way. Some of their big men can get frustrated, and if Wall doesn't get his foul calls, he kind of gets grumpy a little bit. So that's one opportunity.
All right. Viv, I'll see you Monday for the pregame.
Pregame, I won't make it. Most likely, if I do make it on Monday, maybe it'll be postgame.
All right. All right. Have a good one. Have a great weekend, man. Peace.
See ya.
All right, Salim, I'm coming to you, man.
Hey,
coming
I'm here.
to you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. We're just doing last words, is what we call last words. Well, you've seen the show,
Sure.
So what's your last words for the night?
My last word is we have to all remember that this lost 2 games that we had. We could have won these games, and we should have. We just didn't get the calls. That's kind of killing me right here. I don't know why we don't get the calls. It's just crazy to me. I watch all the other games, and nobody goes through what we're going through. So I wasn't even really expecting us to play like this. I'm pretty impressed with Fizdale. I was not expecting this. If we spend the entire season like this, that's unreal to me. That means we got a chance. Once KP comes back, we got plenty of money to spend. I actually do see us winning a championship, within a year or 2. I really do.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
What we're doing right now is we shouldn't do. We shouldn't go to the stretch with Boston. I mean, these people played final last year. I mean, look at it. They did their best. They still couldn't get it done. They had to have a one stupid call. That's how they get the win.
Okay.
So I think we got a good chance with this coach. We got the money coming in. It's going to be wonderful. I'm very excited. So I just want everybody to keep their hopes. I just like the coach, believe it or not, because the way he's playing the players, their psychology, that's what the championship coach does. And right now we don't see it, but we don't see it in real sense. It's going to get even worse, I think, as we go down to the season, because we're going to lose some bad games, really bad games. They're going to dominate us big time. But you will see how he's going to handle all of that, and these players are going to grow out of it. They're going to grow out of it, and KP will come back. It'll be great. So I'm hopeful. But I don't think in the short term, I don't expect them to win. Quite frankly, nothing. But they're doing it. They're doing it.
Okay, they're working hard. I guess that's all we can ask right now. Let them work hard.
Yeah, I see myself. How is this even possible?
Yeah.
I mean, even the bench players. Did you notice when they come back from the bench with Rozier and all the other people? You're like, okay, how are you going to match up with this? There's no way.
But they find a way, right? They find a way. Yeah, they find a way. They found a way to stay tight, continue to make runs. I was proud of that. Hey, but
one last thing that I could say about the possible lineup change is that putting Wanley with Kenner, center and power forward, and move Hazonia on the third. Yeah, I think that would be a very strong physical team. And believe me, they can match up with best of them because they're gonna be pretty good offensively and defensively.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Maybe that's something that'll be coming up later on because I think they're gonna make some changes to the starting lineup. Maybe not Monday, but eventually there's gonna be some changes because we're just having too many slow starts, and you can't continue to have slow starts in it. Yeah. You can't continue.
I think he's already promised that Lance is going to start, so he can't back up from it.
Right. He can't back off that.
Back up from it, He can't make a change, and he can use that as an excuse.
Yeah, but at some point, man, we can't continue to versus Atlanta. we were down 8 to begin the game, right?
Yeah.
Brooklyn, we got down. Did we get down double digits in Brooklyn? I don't remember.
I think so.
We did. I think we did a little bit. But Simi, look, you're a coach, right? When you have young players and you give them all that gas they need to go, you know what happens when they step in the court? They just blow it. And that's what
Trust me,
That's what
I know.
like about it. I can see the excitement the coach is infusing in this team. That's why they're missing those shots. Otherwise, like those are the easy shots to make.
Okay, all right. Hey, Salim, man.
I don't know. Do you see that?
I think that his energy is definitely infused into the team. Definitely, his energy is infused into the team, and I think his energy. Jeff Hornacek had a different energy, right? Jeff Hornacek, you would see him explode every once in a while, but most of the time he's it's kind of stood here like this. You see Dave Fizdale up, jumping around. I mean that spreads to everyone, and I think that's going to that's going to continue. That's going to let us stay energized throughout games. You know what I mean? Hey, Salim, have a great weekend, man. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you for being there and appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope.
Just say hello to everyone, and I'll see you next week.
All right,
next
man.
Week, the next game.
Next game. All right. Glad to have you in the chat.
You good? You got it.
All right.
You got it.
And stay warm. You look cold. You got that big red coat on, man. You look cold.
I can't
stay warm.
It's just my daughter's sleeping.
Okay. All right. All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate the sacrifice, man.
Of course,
all right. Later.
Of course. Anything I can do.
All right, Ant. I'm on you, man. What's up?
Those are the kind of Knicks fans that I love, man. But there's some I really hate some Knicks fans, and I hate them. Right, like that guy that's always screaming that should remain nameless. Like, who can go into this game, look at both teams' rosters, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the outcome and be upset. I don't understand that. I know during the pregame or yesterday, I believe, when we talked about what we were expecting for this game, I said, I just want us to compete. That's it. Mm-hmm. And they competed. They made it a game. They had a chance to win. I'm happy. I feel like this season is just about making teams earn our respect, right? Okay. We're earning our respect right now. Whether that means we win or lose, we want to be that team on the schedule where they say, you know what, them guys ain't got much talent, but we got to come to play because it's going to be a dogfight. They plucky. Right, that should be our goal this year, to not be an easy win, right? And what we can say from these first 3 games is that we have not been an easy win for anybody. We blew out the Hawks. The Nets really beat us, and the Celtics, who are a top 3 team in the NBA, had to fight to win that game. They had to play well, right? So I feel like, I'm happy with the outcome. Of course, I don't want to lose, right? No one's happy when we lose, but, it's some things that I see that, I'm encouraged about.
Okay.
And, I think all this team is really missing is Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, I don't know if that makes it. I think we're missing.
We needed a guy like KP at the end of the game tonight, or even the game against Brooklyn, that you can get the ball, he can get you a bucket.
I mean, I think we're missing buckets. I think we're missing more than just KP.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, I think if we had KP with this team, with the way they're playing, how hard they're playing, I think we could have been a playoff team if he was healthy, or you're a 7 to 8 seed.
I mean, I think we could. I think we could.
I don't know how that.
I think we could.
Because I think on a night like tonight, you need stops, right? But every time down the floor on offense, we didn't know who we were getting a bucket from. Like, there was nobody we were confident in giving the ball to and saying, okay, we know we're going to get a good shot. And that's very stressful on the offense. You saw, like, with Boston, we played good defense, but they had a guy in Tatum that even when the offense broke down, he was able to get you a shot. Kyrie was able to get to the line. When you have a guy like that, that's how you pull out these close games. So I think we're going to lose a lot of these close games over the year. But, we have to keep things in perspective.
Yeah.
Keep things in perspective. We have a very young team. We lack talent in a lot of areas. So, if this team could play hard and be a tough win for people, we need to just take that in stride, look at the improvements and stop screaming and acting ridiculous over things that we should be expecting. So
because that's who's Mark.
I don't want to say his name until he debates me. I'm not saying his name again until he debates me.
Right.
So No more shine for that man. No more.
Guillermo, I don't know if you heard. You know, we're gonna set up a whole debate tournament, and that's probably gonna be the key matchup. I might have to put those guys on the opposite side of the brackets in hopes that they meet in the championship. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens.
That's primetime TV. You got to goose it up. So got to find a way to put them two together in the finals, man.
Well, Sim, in a tournament like that, I know I'll make it to the finals. I'm not, you know, confident in him making it there. I know there's a few guys that can take out the screaming guy. There's a few of them.
Okay, so we might have to do you know,
match us up in the first round. I think it'll be
no. You have to get warmed up.
Yeah. I mean, we can't match you up in the first round. You guys, you know, we gotta hope that you guys make it there to the championship. I don't know. We'll see. All right, man. I'll catch you Monday. You be there for the pregame?
I'm gonna try. Yeah. Pregames are tough, but I'm gonna try to get there for the pregame.
All right.
But I'm gonna definitely be there for the postgame.
All right, cool. All right, later. Peace. Guillermo, it's on you, man.
I'll be quick.
I can't see you though. I can't see you.
Oh crap! Sorry about that. I'll be quick. It just sucks because you look at this team, and when I look at a team that loses to both Brooklyn and then loses to the Celtics in a fairly close game, you know, it's not necessarily talent. Then, and I don't want to be too hard on coaching. We just started out, so guys are getting acclimated and stuff, but. You know, like I said, man, from the preseason to where we are now, that defensive intensity and focus with regards to closing out and getting to the open man, knowing how to guard against the pick and rolls and things like that nature, that's the type of stuff I want to see, and I'm not seeing it, right? Look, we talk about the lack of talent. We didn't lose by 20 to the Celtics, right? It wasn't a problem of scoring per se. I mean, Tim Hardaway did have a game, and Tim Hardaway's doing what I finally want him to do, which is drive to the basket. You know, if you're not shooting well, drive to the damn basket. You're gonna get some calls. You're gonna get some contact. You're gonna get double teams coming your way. The game becomes easier. Every team in the NBA, they dribble, drive, and then kick it out to the guys on the perimeter if need be. And the Knicks are doing more of that now. At first, I was a little bit angry because I'm watching parts of the game and replays are like, it's getting better, but the defense has to get better. It just has to be focused. You know, I want it so where. When he's watching film or whatever, or they're playing in little scrimmages or whatever, they play with the team, I want them to point out and say to each guy, where's your man? Which guy would you have? And explain why. And not to make it too academic, but that's how you get guys to focus. I play with guys where I'm like, who are you guarding? And they'll be like, I was just watching the ball. It's like, guy, your man is over there. Or you should have switched to that guy. That's the type of focus we need. That's the type of focus that we would have. Like I said, we prevented 9, 12, 15 points and extra threes that some of these Marcus Morris hit. You know what I mean? Or that white dude on their team. He hit a 3-2 that I'm like, this guy should not be shooting any open threes. You know what I mean? So focus. We need defensive focus and no more Trey Burke, no more Tim Hardaway and Frank Ntilikina playing together. Like someone said in the last chat, Frank Ntilikina, he has to be the guy that when he gets the ball, he's controlling the tempo of the offense. Too many times I saw tonight Trey Burke trying to play hero ball by when Kyra come down, hit a shot in his face. He's trying to come down, pull it back, and do all this jazz. He either takes a bad shot, because he took a bunch of bad shots down the stretch, or he looks up and there's 5 seconds left on the clock, and he has to try to pass it to somebody, and the offense gets stagnant. I don't want to see that anymore. If Trey Burke comes in, I just want him to come in and score. Don't think about it. Just unconsciously come in, score, pass if need be. Other than that, I need to see more continuity with regard. I need to see more flow within the offense. You know, Tim Hardaway, I will say he kind of saved us tonight, and we did have that nice run. I think it was in the third quarter. We went like on a 10-0, 12-0 run. But you're not going to get lucky like that against the Bucks. You're not going to get lucky like that against the Mavericks the way they're looking. You're not going to. Golden State is definitely just going to destroy that by the third quarter when they get revved up. So you know, it is what it is. I'll see you guys on Monday.
We'll be there for the pregame. I'm gonna try to get into a little bit of chalk talk on the pregame and maybe a little bit on the postgame. You know, really start trying to getting into it a little bit.
Thank you. We need that. And also, I signed up for MLK, so I'll see you guys. In January.
All right, sounds good, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Same here, man.
Can't wait.
All right, man. See you Monday, bro.
See you Monday, man. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. It was a fun show. a little bit of fireworks here and there. But what do you expect when we get into the season and the Knicks take a couple of losses? That's what's going to happen. We will be back Monday, 7 p.m. for the pregame show. I'm going to try to get into a little bit of chalk talk. Not too much to overwhelm you. Maybe a little bit of chalk talk in the post game. So let's look forward to it. Let's really start getting into these Knicks and breaking it down a little bit. So I want you to have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy some football tomorrow, and remember that MLK Day. You can get tickets, private lounge, food and non-alcoholic beverages, courtside at pregame shoot around, a small, tiny tour of MSG as you're walking through to get to courtside and to get up to the lounge. Cost is $205 or $220 with an NBK shirt. Tickets are on sale now. We would love to see you there. We had a blast. You can go on my website and check out the pictures of the last game. I hope to see you guys there. I really hope to see you guys there. I am putting the link in the chat right now so that you can join us at MLK Day. Bring your kids, bring your family, have a good time, celebrate with us, and hopefully I see you guys there. But for now, we're going to head off. I want you guys to have a great weekend. See you Monday night. Peace.